Chapter 1127. In the Martial Divinity Institute's shop, Lin Xian took out all sorts of things. He bought all sorts of food and drinks, all of which were expensive and branded. He also bought all sorts of healing medicines, spiritual energy recovery medicines, and the like, all of which were of high quality. Do we need to buy more than 200 medicine? Xin saw that Lin Xian had emptied a shelf and was in a bad mood. Of course, it's very dangerous. There's no harm in bringing more. Don't tell me you don't have money. Yes. Xin nodded and went to pay. How could Earbook lack money? Of course not. Earbook had no concept of money. She was the kind of person who would give you 100 million just to buy a scallion pancake. Xin naturally had a lot of money on her. She would take advantage of whatever she could. Sigh, for a good man like me to take care of his family. The girls around him are really lucky. Lin Xian then took out his phone and sent a message to his girls group. Come to the Martial Arts Academy shop. I'll give you some medicine. 5 minutes later, Ling Ying, Han Chuxue, Wang Xintong, and Xiao Xinyue all came over. Come, 30 each. Lin Xian smiled and sent them the medicine. Boss, you're so generous, Ling Ying said with a smile. Of course. Xin stood at the side, a little confused. Why did she want to beat him up so badly? She really wanted to. Be careful, Lin Xian said to them. Think about yourself, I'm leaving. After that they all left. What are you looking at? Lin Xian then looked at Xin and Binglan. Binglan quickly lowered her head. Nothing. Xin shook her head slightly. Be careful when you get there. I don't want anything to happen to you. You should take care of yourself. Xin said. Lin Xian. Hey, I'm your boss, right? Is this how you talk to me? Lin Xian looked at her with a smile. I'm sorry, Xin said. That's more like it. I'll teach you two sisters a lesson when we get back. Lin Xian laughed and walked forward. Sister, he's so bad. Binglan said softly. Yes, very bad. However, it's also quite interesting. Binglan stuck out her tongue. After that, the 8 of them were ready to go. The academy was also ready. The Martial Arts Academy would send them to the extreme poison territory, which was thousands of kilometers away from the Martial Arts Academy. If they didn't send them to the extreme poison territory, they would have to stay in the beast territory for a long time. Moreover, the possibility of encountering unknown dangers was very high. Therefore, the Martial Arts Academy still had to send them to the extreme poison territory. Of course, they wouldn't send them directly to the extreme poison territory. They would drop them off when they were 100 or 50 kilometers away, and then have them walk to the extreme poison territory. A few hours later, they arrived 100 kilometers away from the extreme poison territory. We will send you here, and the rest will be up to you. Pay attention to your safety and cooperate well. This is not a small challenge for you. I hope to receive good news from you, Luo Xiu said to the 8 of them. Luo Xiu said to the 8 of them. Luo Xiu, yes. All right, let's go. Then, Lin Xian and the 8 of them walked into the distance. This was an experience. If there was no danger to one's life, if a cultivator was allowed to stay in their own comfort zone, then it would not be called an experience. Only battles like this, where one hovered on the edge of death, could greatly enhance a cultivator's abilities in all aspects. Everyone report your cultivation realm, Morongyu said as she walked forward. The cultivation realm of each cultivator was actually a secret. However, in this situation, it was necessary to know everyone's cultivation realm. For example, when facing a beast territory, one had to know their cultivation realm, and whether or not they could handle a certain task. If they couldn't, it might disrupt the plan. I'll go first. 8 stars domain realm, Morongyu said. I'm 7 stars domain realm, Duan Lingxiao said. Same here, Zhuge Feng said. 6 stars domain realm, Wu Yuhan said. Me too. I'm 4 stars domain realm, Xiaoyan said. This group of people was really abnormal. Everyone's cultivation realm was above his. I'm also 4 stars domain realm, Binglan said. Then they glanced at Lin Xian. 1 star domain realm. Everyone. To be honest, they originally guessed that Lin Xian was hiding his strength. Since he could participate in this mission, and with the approval of the Academy, he should be at least 3 or 4 stars domain realm. Why was he only 1-star domain realm? Young Master Lin, you can't hide this. Otherwise, it might lead to serious consequences. Duan Lingxiao said to Lin Xian. I'm not hiding it. I'm indeed 1 star. That's strange. 1 star can participate in this mission too? Xiaoyan said. Obviously, he was purposely squeezing Lin Xian. I thought so too. I just wanted to give it a try and chose this mission. Who knew that I would enter? That's why I said you guys have to protect me. Lin Xian shrugged. It's fine. Since young Master Lin can participate in this mission despite being at 1-star domain realm, young Master Lin must have some outstanding points. The Academy believes in your strength, so do I. Zhuge Feng looked at Lin Xian and smiled. All right. Brother Zhuge, you have good foresight. When the time comes, I'll focus on protecting you. Lin Xian grinned at Zhuge Feng. Ha ha ha, they hurried forward. After about an hour, they arrived at a plain. After passing through this plain, they would arrive at the extreme poison despair. There seems to be a group of demonic beasts ahead. They looked ahead. It was quite far away, and they couldn't see clearly what kind of demonic beasts they were. However, there might be more than 20 of them. They weren't sure if it was dangerous or not. The group of demonic beasts also saw them from afar. They could vaguely see these demonic beasts slowly standing up. It was either a warning stance or an attack stance. Captain, should we go around or fight? Duan Lingxiao asked. It's best to go around them. If we don't reach the extreme poison despair, any consumption is unnecessary. But it seems like they don't want us to go around them. Lin Xian twisted his neck. The group of demonic beasts was gradually approaching them. These demonic beasts seemed to be very smart. When they came over, they spread out to prevent Lin Xian and the others from escaping. They gradually closed in and surrounded them. It's the Silvermoon Heavenly Wolf, Morongyu said warily. The Silvermoon Heavenly Wolf was one of the more famous demonic beasts on the continent. They lived in packs, had extremely strong combat abilities, and were extremely fast. Their bloodline wasn't low either. Usually, an adult Silvermoon Heavenly Wolf had the strength of the Law Realm. Naturally, this group of demonic beasts were all in the Law Realm. Otherwise, they wouldn't have seen a group of people coming over. Their first reaction was to welcome them. They were confident, and the Silvermoon Heavenly Wolf was very smart. Fortunately, it was daytime now. Chapter 1128. Lin Xian looked at the group of Silvermoon wolves helplessly. F***ck. This young master has never seen a group of Law Realm beasts before, but they seem to be used to it. Wow. I'm so noob. If it was night time, these Silvermoon wolves would cause them quite a bit of pressure. There might not be any casualties, but they would definitely lose a lot of spiritual power and stamina. But it was daytime now. As members of the monster race, it was not a big deal for Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglan to attack the monster race. The monster race was different from the human race. The monster race was similar to how humans looked at other monster race members. 10 seconds, Morongyu said indifferently. Lin Xian scratched his head. They were strong, but these were all Law Realm beasts. Killing more than 20 of them in 10 seconds was a bit abnormal, right? But in the next moment, Lin Xian roughly understood what Morongyu meant. Alright, then Lin Xian released his spatial power. The spatial power of a domain realm beast was naturally not something these Law Realm beasts could withstand. In an instant, all the Silvermoon wolves were gathered in one place by Lin Xian. At the same time, Morongyu's cold power erupted, and the terrifying cold power froze all the Silvermoon wolves. Hey, let's leave some experience for them. Lin Xian was only a 1-star domain realm cultivator. After saying that, he rushed forward and released his 5 thunder constellation. Boom! Then Lin Xian walked back. Awesome! Killing 7 or 8 of them. 10 seconds. Probably not even 10 seconds. This spatial attribute is really domineering. Zhuge Feng could not help but praise. That's one of the strongest laws after all. Although it's mainly functional, it's not something ordinary laws can compare to. Duan Lingxiao said. Lin Xian didn't have the same so-called magnanimity as them. He just wanted to level up and kill demonic beasts. Awesome. I feel like I might be able to level up by 2 or 3 stars this time. Lin Xian walked over with a smile. After all, this was the domain realm. It was very difficult to level up by 1 star. That's possible. Duan Lingxiao nodded. Young Master Duan won't steal my kill, right? You're already a 7-star Grand Dominion Realm cultivator, so I don't think you'll be interested in low-level monsters, right? And young Master Xiao. Lin Xian grinned. What the hell? How could this guy be so shameless? How could he have the nerve to say such words? However, Morongyu was here, and their cultivation levels were indeed much higher than Lin Xian's. According to common sense, they could refuse, but Morongyu was here, so the best way was to nod. That's only natural. Young Master Lin's cultivation level isn't high, and demonic beasts of this level won't be of much help to us. Naturally, if it can belong to young Master Lin, then it belongs to young Master Lin. Duan Lingxiao said. Although Xiao Yin did not want to, he still nodded. Thank you very much. When my cultivation level increases a little, I will be able to help you even more. Lin Xian said with a smile. Let's go. Let's talk after we enter the extreme poison realm. Then the group continued forward. Soon, they arrived at the Toxic Despair. The Toxic Despair was a forest, a poisonous forest. If you stood outside, you could clearly see green poisonous creatures, shrouding the entire poisonous despair. Every tree in the poisonous despair was grotesquely shaped. These trees and plants had all lived here for a long time, and gradually mutated. They gradually formed antibodies, absorbed the poison, and became extremely poisonous. To be honest, this scene was really difficult for people to dare to enter. The poison in the Toxic Despair grows stronger the deeper you go. Similarly, the deeper you go, the more poisonous the demonic beasts you encounter will be. With your spiritual energy, you can temporarily resist the poison in the periphery. The antidote pill has a time limit, so don't take it first. Morongyu said. Everyone nodded. After entering, there are 2 missions. One is to find the 5 great poison kings, and kill them one by one. We'll leave the heavenly venerable poison king for last. The other is to find the antidote spirit medicine. Regarding the antidote spirit medicine, who knows? Morongyu looked at the others. Finally, there's something the class leader doesn't know. Lin Xian smiled. Morongyu tidied the hair in front of her forehead and said, I know a little, but I'm not sure. I know a little. Xue said. Good. When we enter Xue, pay special attention. Xue nodded. In fact, Lin Xian also knew. With the imperial physician's saint technique in his mind, he should know more than Xue, but he didn't say it. He would tell them when they met. Let's go in. Then the 8 of them walked into the Toxic Despair together. The moment they stepped in, everyone frowned. The poison was rushing at them. Every breath they took was poisonous, and they were constantly inhaling it. However, because the poison wasn't strong enough, they could use their spiritual energy to neutralize it. However, this process would constantly consume one's energy and spiritual power. Therefore, some of the restrictions on them were relatively large. Lin Xian tried to absorb it, but to his surprise, he was completely immune to the poison. At least for now, he didn't need to consume any spiritual energy. The poison is so strong. Wu Yuhan frowned slightly. She accidentally touched a leaf, and that piece of clothing was corroded. The poison of every creature here is much stronger than in the air. That's why the academy made us wear special shoes. Try to be careful. Now head south. That's where the first poison king is. We'll enter its territory in an hour. Advance according to the formation. Okay. Then they headed south one after another. Hey, I suddenly thought of a question. Lin Xian said. What is it? Morongyu asked as she walked forward. I remember that the Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf clan is an elite demon clan belonging to the Demon God Temple, right? Morongyu pondered for a moment. Yes, I participated in the city defense battle before. Coincidentally, one of the factions I faced was the Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf clan. The Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf clan's combat strength is very strong. Because their combat strength can be doubled at night. They were once a weapon of the Demon God Temple. Young Master Lin, what do you mean? Lin Xian walked forward and said, I'm just worried that we'll encounter a small group of Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf clan here. Does that mean that this place is where the Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf clan of the Demon God Temple lives? If that's the case, we might even be attacked by the Demon God Temple. This location didn't seem to be under Yi Renbing's jurisdiction. As for whether it was Xiechui, Lin Xian didn't know. After all, this place was more than 1,000 kilometers away from Linen City. Moreover, it was in a very remote location. I think there's no need to worry. Xiao Yin then said. The Demon God Temple won't attack us for less than 10 humans. Moreover, how can we attract their attention? How far is this place from the Demon God Temple? There's no need to worry. We just have to do what's in front of us. Chapter 1129. Although what Lin Xian said could be a form of danger, it was true that after everyone thought about it, the possibility of such a thing happening was simply too small. Just be careful, Morongyu said. Maybe I'm too sensitive. Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose and said, why was he so sensitive? He had been targeted by Xiechui before. Yes, the people here might not be worth the Monster God Temple's attention, but he might be. Therefore, Lin Xian was always worried that he would attract Lin Xian's attention after leaving the martial arts academy and coming to this place. That was why Lin Xian was worried. But after thinking about it, he didn't think that would happen. Yi Renbing had done something last time. However, what he was afraid of had happened. Your Honor, Lin Xian left the martial arts academy and went to the place of extreme poison. In the 9th Monster God Temple, a person knelt in front of Xiechui. Oh, Xiechui stood up and paced slowly. He really wanted to attack Lin Xian, but he was afraid of Yi Renbing. Last time, Yi Renbing had come to tell him in person, so he didn't dare to attack him. Forget it. Yi Renbing is very strong. If we attack him, she will know. Besides, Lin Xian must have something that can save his life. Xiechui shook his head. But according to our intelligence, several top geniuses of the human clan are going to the place of extreme poison, including the daughter of the Master of the Divine Palace, the son of the Master of the Trial Union, and several other top geniuses. In the future, they will be a great threat to the Monster Clan. Oh, the Martial Arts Academy is one step behind. Hearing this, Xiechui raised his eyebrows. You, go to the place of extreme poison, and take care of the others. Leave Lin Xian alone. Anyway, Yi Renbing only protects Lin Xian. She has no right to protect the others. Xiechui sneered. Yes, right, leave 1 or 2 or 3 people alive. Remember, don't attack Lin Xian. They will suspect that Lin Xian is colluding with the Monster Clan. When the time comes. I understand. On the other side, Lin Xian and the others had just encountered a group of poisonous forest scorpions of their realms, but they were very strong. These monsters were not much of a threat to them. There's a swamp in front. About half an hour later, they stopped in front of a swamp. This swamp was so big that you couldn't tell how far away it was. This made the space attribute useless. If you sent them over, and they were still on top of the swamp, then it would be dangerous. A normal swamp would not be a problem for them. However, the poison in this swamp was so terrifying that it was unimaginable. After so many years of gathering here, how many highly toxic things had entered this place? How many highly toxic leaves had fallen here? The poison in this place must be the strongest they had encountered so far. And there should be demonic beasts inside. This should be the location of the Poison King. If I'm not wrong, the Poison King should be in this swamp. Morongyu stared at the swamp and said, this swamp is the most poisonous place we've encountered so far. Duan Lingxiao said, then tore a piece of cloth and threw it into the swamp. This piece of cloth floated on top of the swamp. Then it turned into green smoke and was directly corroded. This King poison was a little scary. With their realms, even if they had spiritual protection, they probably wouldn't be able to withstand it. It should be. Such a poisonous place must be the location of the extremely strong Poison King. And since the Poison King had not shown himself, they could only force him out. Let me do it. Wu Yuhan took 2 steps forward. Then, a dagger appeared in her hand. She threw the dagger directly into the swamp. In the next moment, the entire swamp flickered with a black light. Boom! In the next moment, it was as if a missile had exploded in the swamp. The entire ground shook. Lin Xian. F***CK. This dagger was amazing. This dagger is specially made, right? Lin Xian asked Wu Yuhan. In response, she turned her face to the side. Lin Xian. It's coming. Retreat. Morongyu said with a frown. Soon after, everyone took out their spiritual artifacts and retreated into a formation. Lin Xian also took out his light sword Wan Xia. Roar! A huge monster let out a trembling roar and jumped from the bottom of the swamp to the surface. Their battle could not be in the swamp. It was too dangerous. Therefore, they had to pull the monster to the surface. And this Poison King might have been too confident in himself or was angered. Without any hesitation, he jumped up and roared. Roar! Whoosh whoosh whoosh. None of them were to be trifled with. They quickly spread out to the sides, and everything within a few dozen meters in front of them was destroyed by the power it released. It was as if a path had been opened in the forest. One could imagine how terrifying it would be if such power were to fall on them. This demonic beast's body, including its tail, was more than 10 meters long. Its body was brown with blood-red patterns. Its eyes were blood-red. Its overall appearance was that of a huge crocodile. Its sharp teeth made one tremble in fear. Its entire back was filled with sharp spikes. The sword was incomparable, making it impossible to attack. It's the Berserk Blood Crocodile King. They recognized the demonic beast when they saw it. It was undoubtedly the Poison King. The Berserk Blood Crocodile King's strongest points were its strength and defense. If its tail hit you, you would basically be crippled. As for its defense, you would know just by looking at its back. It was indestructible. Other than the Sky Venerable, the rest of the Poison Kings were all at the Domain Realm. Moreover, they were existences with 1 foot in the Sky Venerable realm. Each of them had the ability to fight across realms. But in this environment, facing the Poison King of this level, to be honest, it was difficult to fight one-on-one. Even Morongyu would find it difficult. However, it was not impossible. But since there were 8 of them, why did they have to fight one-on-one? The Berserk Blood Crocodile King's weakness is its abdomen. We have to find a way to hit its abdomen to cause any substantial damage. Zhuge Feng said. Let's fight first. This young master does not believe that it is that hard. Thunderous force. Zzz. The tip of Duan Lingzhao's sword was surrounded by lightning. Lightning flashed and illuminated the forest. Then with a roar, he jumped up and stabbed at the Berserk Blood Crocodile King with terrifying strength. Roar! The Berserk Blood Crocodile King's speed was not fast. However, it did not need speed. It raised its head, and a blood-red energy gushed out from its mouth to resist Duan Lingzhao's lightning energy. Boom! In the next moment, Duan Lingzhao jumped back and staggered on the ground. It was indeed very strong. Follow the plan. Begin the battle. Morongyu said. Yes. So, following which, they all rush forward. Tai Chi gives birth to 2 forms: rapid attack. Zhuge Feng stepped on the ground slightly. A huge Tai Chi 8 trigrams diagram rotated on the ground and occupied the entire battlefield. At the same time, everyone who rushed over felt their speed and strength increase. Chapter 1130. Lin Xian finally understood why this Zhuge Feng was able to take up such an important role. Normally, a support role would be taken up by someone with the wood or water attribute. He didn't know if there was such an attribute, but he had this kind of special ability. Lin Xian didn't think that he only had this kind of formation, but this formation increased their speed and strength, and it wasn't low at all. Lin Xian really couldn't help but look at him in a higher light. A very special ability. This wasn't an attribute, and it didn't seem to be a martial technique either. And it was instantaneous. Pung pung pung. The 8 of them attacked one after another. It only meant that Lin Xian and the others had to shoulder the responsibility of protecting them. It didn't mean that they weren't important just because they were protected. Every single one of them was important. 5 lightning constellation. Boom! Lin Xian's terrifying lightning landed on the Berserk Blood Crocodile King's body, but, sorry, I won't attack anymore. Lin Xian said helplessly. 5 Lightning Constellation. Purple lightning, the strongest defensive attribute. But when it landed on the Berserk Blood Crocodile King's body, it was like scratching an itch. There was no helping it, the difference was too great. Lin Xian was only at the 1-star domain realm, and this demonic beast was at the 10-star domain realm. Furthermore, the Berserk Blood Crocodile King's back defense was too terrifying. It was normal for Lin Xian to scratch an itch. Not to mention Lin Xian, even Murong Yu's terrifying attack couldn't do much damage to the Berserk Blood Crocodile King. Murong Yu's cultivation was close to the Berserk Blood Crocodile King, and her battle strength was definitely not low. It was enough to imagine how strong she was. Shua! A powerful frost energy burst out from Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglin's bodies, instantly freezing the Berserk Blood Crocodile King. But in the next instant, the Berserk Blood Crocodile King broke free from the ice. With a roar, a blood-red light burst out. Boom! Everything within 20 meters was shaken by the terrifying power, and dust flew everywhere. Putong, a few figures staggered to the ground. It's not hard to defeat it, but its defense is too strong. Even with Zhuge Feng's blessing, we can't do any damage to it. Duan Lingxiao frowned. For any martial artist, what kind of demonic beast did they dislike the most? Agility type. Speed was very powerful. In the world of martial arts, only speed was invincible. This sentence was not groundless. An agility-type demonic beast of the same rank would be more difficult to deal with than a demonic beast that was 2 stars higher than you. The other type was this kind of defense-type demonic beast. What was very exaggerated was that defense-type demonic beasts were basically defense-type demonic beasts that were several stars higher in strength would not be able to shake them, let alone those whose cultivation level was lower. However, there was one advantage. This Berserk Blood Crocodile King did not have a strong defense that covered its entire body. It had a weak spot, and it was a large number of weak spots. But how could he attack its lower body? The simplest method was to use the power of space to move it into the air, allowing them to instantly focus fire below. However, Lin Xian and Xiao Yin were unable to do so, because the difference in their realms was too great. Why don't we just kill him by force? The sword in Duan Lingxiao's hand flashed with blue light. If we can't kill him, you'll be exhausted instead. Murong Yu said. Roar! In the next moment, the Berserk Blood Crocodile King roared, and a blood-red energy gushed out. Shwa! An ice wall appeared in front of Murong Yu, blocking the terrifying energy. In the next moment, she quickly retreated, and the ice wall shattered at the same time. I can do it, Zhuge Feng said as he dodged the Berserk Blood Crocodile King's attack. I'll leave it to you. Everyone prepare to deal a fatal blow, Murong Yu said. Obviously, she trusted Zhuge Feng a lot. She probably had a rough idea of Zhuge Feng's strength. In the next moment, Zhuge Feng's figure suddenly stopped. His hands quickly formed seals, and a golden light cage enveloped the Berserk Blood Crocodile King. Rise! Zhuge Feng yelled. Puff! In the next moment, he spat out a mouthful of blood, and the Berserk Blood Crocodile King was directly sent flying. Now, everyone gathered their strength and blasted it out in unison. Boom! The power exploded in the sky. Ding! Your realm has increased to 2-star domain realm. Lin Xian. Hearing the system notification, Lin Xian was a little dumbfounded. He was the one who killed it. His luck was too damn good. Among the 7 of them, he was the weakest. And he was the one who killed this demonic beast. Although this demonic beast was strong, they weren't weak either. To be honest, if this was a different type of demonic beast, they would have already worked together to kill it. Even if the demonic beast's realm was higher than theirs, which one of them didn't have the ability to fight across realms? Their joint attack hit the Berserk Blood Crocodile King's weak spot, and it was very normal for it to be killed instantly. Are you okay? Murong Yu walked to Zhuge Feng's side. I'm fine. Zhuge Feng waved his hand and said, It's just a small injury. It's normal for it to be injured by force. It'll be fine until we reach the next Poison King. Duan Lingxiao walked over and said, This kind of defensive demonic beast is indeed troublesome. You have to be more careful when you're injured. Alright, I already said it's just a small injury. Zhuge Feng smiled. Lin Xian came over and gave him a pill. Take this and you'll be fine soon. Zhuge Feng glanced at Lin Xian. Many thanks. Then he took the pill. Then let's take a break and head to the next Poison King's location. This Berserk Blood Crocodile King has a strong poison, but it hasn't had the time to release it. Otherwise, it'll be even more troublesome. After that, other than the Empyrean Realm Poison King, we'll try to kill the rest instantly, to avoid any trouble. Morongyu said. Alright, to be honest, if this was heard by others, they would feel that it was inconceivable. You people who are lower realm than the Poison King actually want to kill it instantly? Is this world crazy? But they did have the ability to do so. Their real opponent was the Empyrean Realm Poison King, and the rest were just a matter of convenience. As long as it wasn't a defensive demonic beast, once it was locked on and controlled, it was normal to kill it instantly. After resting for a while, they walked towards the next Poison King. Brother, what kind of power is that? It's very strange. Lin Xian came to Zhuge Feng's side and asked. Oh, it's just a formation. Formations with different powers and different effects. My ancestors practiced this and passed it down from generation to generation. Zhuge Feng smiled. This kind of power is unique to the Zhuge family in the entire continent. Duan Lingxiao said with some envy. Doesn't that mean that if a person has these formations, it's equivalent to having a full attribute? Xue Bingxin was also slightly surprised. This human had such an ability. Chapter 1131. When Zhuge Feng heard Xue Bingxin's words, he smiled and said, in some sense, I can release metal, wood, water, fire, earth, lightning, wind, and so on. However, how can there be such an exaggerated power in this world? There are pros and cons. Firstly, this isn't elemental power, so it can't be as strong, flexible as elemental power. Secondly, the spiritual energy consumption is even higher than releasing elemental power. It's just that there's no harm in having more skills. Lin Xian was enlightened. However, don't forget that apart from these abilities, Brother Zhuge is also a martial artist. He has his own elemental power, so compared to us, he is stronger. Duan Lingxiao said. To be honest, Lin Xian quite liked this ability and felt that it was very powerful. However, he wasn't envious because he was a man who could use all elemental powers. It should be others who were envious of him. I say, stop flattering me. All of you are stronger than me, yet you're still trying to kill me. Zhuge Feng said helplessly. I'm not wrong, right? Because I'm really not as strong as you, Lin Xian said. The one who shouldn't flatter me the most is you, young Master Lin. Lin Xian. Why? Look, there are so many beautiful girls around you. You have the lowest realm, but the Academy still allowed you to participate in this mission against the Heavenly Venerable Realm Poison King. Shouldn't you be the one who is special in the eyes of the Academy? Zhuge Feng looked at Lin Xian and said with a smile. When Zhuge Feng said that, the surrounding people were also surprised. Yes, they did have this speculation when they saw Lin Xian participating in this mission. However, they quickly dismissed it. They even felt that there were too few people for this mission, and Lin Xian was just there to make up the numbers. One more person, one more force? However, when Zhuge Feng said that, they indeed felt that something was wrong. They were all in the domain realm, and Lin Xian was also in the domain realm. However, they were going to deal with the Heavenly Venerable Realm Poison King. How could a one-star domain realm fight against a Heavenly Venerable? There was no way the Academy would allow a one-star domain realm cultivator to participate in this battle. The weakest was a 4-star domain realm cultivator. It was very easy for a 4-star domain realm cultivator to break through during this battle. Even a 1-star domain realm cultivator wouldn't be able to fight against the Poison King. Could it be because of his spatial attribute? That was impossible. There were more than 10 people in the Martial Arts Academy who knew the space attribute. Therefore, there must be something special about this Lin Xian that even the Martial Arts Academy valued. Although his realm was not high, he would definitely be of help in this mission. Morongyu was probably the only one who knew the reason. She didn't know much, but she knew that Lin Xian was indeed very powerful. He definitely couldn't look at him with a normal gaze. He had to treat him even more seriously than when he looked at someone like Duan Ling Xiao. I guess I'm just here to make up the numbers, Lin Xian said with a smile. Being too modest means being pretentious. Zhuge Feng smiled. Lin Xian shrugged. Xiao Yun clenched his fists. Since when did he Xiao Yun become invisible? Although those girls were also very invisible and basically didn't talk, he was a man. Those girls were the cold type, so it was normal for them to not talk. Morong Yu was the team leader, so she had to talk. Hey! Lin Xian took a few steps back and walked to Wu Yuhan's side. Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglin's ears twitched, trying to eavesdrop on their conversation. Why did they want to eavesdrop? Because they were curious. I've already apologized to you. Can't you talk to me? Lin Xian said with a grin. Wu Yuhan didn't even glance at Lin Xian and continued walking forward. Then did you accept my apology or not? At least tell me. Lin Xian said. Although this wasn't a place to pick up girls, it was a rare opportunity for Lin Xian to talk to Wu Yuhan. Wu Yuhan triggered the mission, so Lin Xian still cared about it. Did you accept it? Did you accept it? Shut up, Wu Yuhan said coldly. Then tell me if you accepted it. How could this man be so shameless? How could he be so thick-skinned? I don't blame you anymore, Wu Yuhan said and quickened her pace. Lin Xian smiled and followed. Then I'll treat you to a meal when we get back. No need, Wu Yuhan said coldly. No, I have to treat you to a meal and apologize, right? Shut up, Lin Xian. Alright. I'll just hook up with Wu Yuhan's other personality. Lin Xian was helpless. After about an hour, the poison suddenly increased. We should have entered another area now. The poison here is even stronger. If you can't take it, take the antidote first. Don't save it. Otherwise, the consequences will be unimaginable. You won't have any combat power left. Morong Yu said to the people behind her. Okay. Xue Binglan and Xiao Yun took the antidote. Young Master Lin, you're not taking it? Zhuge Feng looked at Lin Xian in surprise. Xiao Yun stopped taking the antidote. He didn't swallow it. The others were at a higher realm and could withstand it for a while. However, Xue Binglan and Xiao Yun were 4 stars. They probably needed to take it. Lin Xian was a 2-star. He should take it. Lin Xian didn't. Xiao Yun thought of something. Lin Xian was poisonous. It was normal for him to be immune to the poison here. Oh, I have some resistance to poison. Although my realm is lower, I can still withstand it. I don't need it for now, Lin Xian said. This surprised them for a moment. How could he have some resistance to poison? What's going on? They obviously didn't think of the poison attribute. This power was too rare. Normally, some martial artists might not encounter anything related to poison in their lifetime. Of course, the probability was low. Normally, they would encounter poisonous beasts. At this time, Xiao Yun put away the antidote pill. Young Master Xiao, you're not taking it? They looked at Xiao Yun. Xiao Yun felt that he couldn't lose to Lin Xian. If Lin Xian didn't take it, he wouldn't accept it either. Otherwise, wouldn't it be a joke if a 4-star domain realm cultivator took the antidote? He was thinking too much. The others wouldn't laugh at him. Although their realms were high, they could roughly sense the level of poison. It would be best if a 4-star domain realm cultivator took it. No need. I can still hold on for a while. It will save me more time to fight the Heaven Venerable Realm Poison King later. I won't have to worry about anything. Xiao Yun said. Safety first. Moreover, there are antidotes here. We just need to find them. Morong Yu said. It's okay. Let's continue. Xue Binglan blinked her beautiful eyes. She felt that she couldn't withstand the poison anymore. How could this man withstand it? Was he really so powerful? Chapter 1132. Time passed minute by minute. Xiao Yun didn't take the antidote and walked for a long time. As he walked, his lips turned black. He sensed that he was poisoned. No, he couldn't hold on any longer. Then he quietly swallowed the antidote. What was this called? He wanted to suffer and endure the pain of being poisoned. Why did he have to endure the pain of being poisoned? A lake appeared in front of them. It was very scary. This lake wasn't very big, and the lake water was like stagnant water. The surface of the water was green, and there were countless leaves floating on it. There were also many corpses of demon beasts. Occasionally, bubbles would appear on the surface of the lake. When the bubbles exploded, a green poisonous mist would burst out from within. If I'm not wrong, it should be here. Everyone stopped and stared at the lake. They were all martial artists with high ranks, so they could clearly sense some details. They could clearly sense that there was a poison nearby that was much higher than other places. So this place was definitely not simple. There's a ghost soul blood apple there. It should be right, Lin Xian said. Everyone's gaze landed on a black plant on the lake. Ghost soul blood apple, a highly poisonous plant. Its rank is not low, and it will release a powerful heaven and earth spirit energy and poison at any time. Normally, such a poisonous plant would be fought over by demon beasts, and the one who can obtain it must be a king nearby. So, this is the place where one of the poison kings is. Morongyu explained to them. Lin Xian couldn't help but admire Morongyu. He knew this because of the imperial physician saint technique, and Morongyu purely relied on her large amount of knowledge. Lin Xian felt that Morongyu was too outstanding in all aspects. He really didn't know how this person could be so strong. Let me lure it out. After Duan Ling Xiao finished speaking, lightning condensed in his hand and directly blasted towards the ghost soul blood apple. The ghost soul blood apple instantly turned into Suyu. Although the ghost soul blood tang was strong, it hadn't reached the level where a domain realm expert couldn't destroy it. If it was at that level, then it wasn't something a domain realm poison king could approach or possess. If this thing was strong, then it would belong to an Empyrean realm poison king. Because the Empyrean realm poison king didn't fancy this ghost soul blood apple tree, it was obtained by this poison king. As long as its precious ghost soul blood apple tree was destroyed or attacked, it would definitely appear in anger. However, Lin Xian felt his heart ache. The ghost blood flower might be useless to them, but it was very useful to Lin Xian. It was King ruin just like that. You have so many ways to lure out the poison king, but you have to do it like this. Lin Xian's other purpose in coming here was to see if he could find any rare and powerful poisons. He wanted to see if he could raise his poison attribute. Sure enough, when the ghost soul blood orchid was destroyed, a terrifying force emerged from the bottom of the lake, and then a huge green python drilled out. Seconds. In the next instant, Xuebingxin's frost power erupted, and Zhugafeng directly created an ice array. At the same time, Morongyu also released a powerful frost power. In an instant, the demonic beast was controlled. Although it could only be controlled for a short period of time, it was enough. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. In the next instant, everyone rushed over. A dagger appeared in Wu Yuhan's hand, and her figure disappeared. A black light flashed past, and the monster's vital point was directly cut open, revealing a huge mouth. Heavenly thunder slash. Duan Lingxiao also roared, and the sword in his hand flashed with lightning as he slashed forward. 10 seconds. No, to be precise, the Poison King had just appeared. Perhaps they didn't even see it clearly before it was killed. Every one of them was very strong, and it was easy for them to fight across realms. In addition, with this kind of cooperation, they could kill the Poison King before it could react and release any demonic skills, or directly make it lose its ability to fight. Lin Xian expressed that he was really here to be a bystander. Along the way, he had killed quite a number of demonic beasts, because other than the demonic beast king, they had encountered many other demonic beasts, and there were even groups of them. Lin Xian's experience had increased by quite a bit, and he really had a chance to reach Domain Realm 4 stars. However, when facing a big boss of this level, his strength was clearly a little weak. The main thing was that Lin Xian could also cause great damage to this level of existence, so he needed to go all out. However, Lin Xian didn't need to go all out. What was the point of going all out? Snatching experience? It would probably be difficult. Let's follow this method. At least, it should be easier for us to face a heavenly venerable realm poison king. Xiaoyan said. Let's continue on our way. 2 hours later, the third poison king was killed. 6 hours later, the fourth poison king was killed. Ding! Your realm has increased to Domain Realm 3 stars. Lin Xian let out a long sigh of relief. He had finally reached Domain Realm 3 stars. It really wasn't easy. After reaching the domain realm, increasing one's realm was simply too difficult. The number of demonic beasts he had killed was probably the highest among the 8 of them. Morong Yu and the rest had deliberately left the demonic beasts to Lin Xian, because their leveling speed was slower. As for Morong Yu, she felt that Lin Xian's realm needed to increase, so that he could unleash greater combat strength. The others had also advanced. Xiao Yin had reached domain realm 5 stars, and Wu Yuhan had reached domain realm 7 stars. This Wu Yuhan caused Lin Xian to be incomparably shocked. Her combat strength had completely exceeded Lin Xian's expectations. She was simply too strong. She didn't hesitate at all, and every move she made hit the target. The sky was already dark. Fortunately, their realm wasn't low, and their night vision was strong in such a forest. However, it also had a huge impact on them, as the forest was dark to begin with. Everyone be careful. Many demonic beasts roam at night. It's even more dangerous now than during the day. And now, there's a very bad news. Duan Lingxiao looked at everyone and said, "The antidote pill's effect is about to wear off. Once it's over, if we still haven't found a heaven and earth spirit item that can resist the poison here, this operation might fail." The academy deliberately didn't give them enough antidote pills, because this was called training. Even if dealing with heavenly venerable realm demonic beasts was already extremely troublesome and dangerous, the martial arts academy was just that abnormal. "You guys rest first. I'll go look for it," Lin Xian said to them. Morong Yu frowned slightly as she looked at Lin Xian. "You," Xiao Yin sneered and said, "you're going alone? If you die, we won't even know where to find your corpse. Besides, why should we trust you? Wait here for nothing. Wouldn't that be a waste of everyone's time?" Morong Yu interrupted Xiao Yin, looked at Lin Xian and asked, "Do you know?" Lin Xian nodded. "I know a little. I should be able to find it." "All right, I'll go with you. The rest of you stay here and rest," Morong Yu said. "I'll go too," Duan Lingxiao said. "No need. We're not going to fight. We need you to lead the team here," Morong Yu said. Xiao Yin clenched his fist and completely ignored him. Chapter 1133. Lin Xian and Morong Yu left together. "Master Xiao, do you have a grudge against Master Lin?" After they left, Zhuge Feng smiled and asked Xiao Yin. Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglan listened carefully. "Grudge? How can there be grudges? Even if there is a grudge, I wouldn't bring my personal grudge here," Xiao Yin said. Duan Lingxiao patted Xiao Yin's shoulder and said, "That's a good sentence. We're a team here. We have to leave our backs to each other." "So why didn't Master Xiao trust Master Lin? You even said that we would just wait? Isn't that just distrust?" Zhuge Feng smiled. Xiao Yin then explained, "This place is so dangerous, and Lin Xian's realm isn't high. If it was anyone else, I wouldn't have a problem. Isn't Brother Zhuge worried?" "I'm really not worried." Zhuge Feng drank a mouthful of water and said, "Lin Xian's realm isn't high. But don't forget, the Martial Arts Academy agreed to let him join this mission, which means that they acknowledge his strength. Plus, he has the space attribute. What's wrong with that?" Xiao Yin secretly clenched his fist. "That's because I was too one-sided. It's my problem," Xiao Yin then said. "All right. Everyone rest. I hope they can find it. Otherwise, we won't be able to last until we find the Poison King, let alone defeat him." Xiao Yin sat there with a ruthless look in his eyes. "How can I have a chance to destroy this Lin Xian? Class leader, pay attention to the roots of every tree. See if there are any plants that are also green, but have faint white stars on their leaves." Lin Xian said to Morong Yu, "White star grass?" Morong Yu asked Lin Xian. "No, it's the white spirit poison grass that's similar to the white star grass." Lin Xian said, "I know this," Morong Yu nodded. "These two types of poisonous herbs are very, very similar. It is very easy to confuse them. During the learning process, you will be specifically taught how to differentiate between these two types of poisonous herbs." "Fighting poison with poison?" Morong Yu asked. "Of course. Do you think there could be any other spiritual herbs here? It can only be a poisonous grass, and we can only fight poison with poison. This is the Academy's test of our survival ability. The poison of the white spirit poisonous grass can neutralize the poison here." How do you know? Morongyu asked in surprise. This kind of thing would require a lot of experiments to come to a conclusion. Anyway, she had done a little research on this poisonous grass, but she didn't know that it had such an effect. There were quite a few poisonous herbs that had this effect, and there were probably more than 10 types in this place. The Academy probably knew that other poisonous herbs could neutralize this effect, and the reason why they were looking for the white spirit poisonous herb was because there were more of it. Take a guess. Lin Xian grinned at her. Morongyu secretly shook her head. She believed that some of her knowledge reserves were already very high, but she always had a feeling that she was not as good as Lin Xian. Let's look. Half an hour later, the two of them were holding a handful of white spirit poisonous grass in their hands. Lin Xian directly held it with his bare hands, while Morongyu released spirit energy from her hands to isolate the poison. You're just holding it with your bare hands? Morongyu looked at Lin Xian in surprise. Oh! Lin Xian then released spirit energy from his hands. Morongyu, what do you mean by this? You're holding the poisonous grass without releasing spirit energy, and you're releasing it when I ask you? What does this prove? It proves that he can hold the poisonous grass without releasing spirit energy. This Lin Xian is really mysterious. Morongyu didn't say much and then asked, how do we use this? We're still missing a poisonous grass. Only by combining the two can we achieve the effect of neutralizing the poison in the air. Here. Lin Xian pointed to the front. Purple daylily? Lin Xian nodded. The purple daylily had a nice name, but this flower was extremely poisonous. Very, very poisonous. Are you sure this purple daylily can be eaten? Morongyu still asked. She knew the purple daylily too well. This purple daylily's grade wasn't high, but it was extremely poisonous. It wasn't much worse than the ghost soul blood grass they encountered before. A domain realm martial artist wouldn't die from eating it, but they would definitely lose their ability to fight for a long time. What? You don't believe me? Morongyu shook her head. I believe you, but there's something I don't understand. Yo, class rep. There's something you don't understand. Lin Xian joked. Morongyu stood there and really wanted to roll her eyes at Lin Xian. Lin Xian then kneaded the two poisonous grasses together according to a certain ratio. The juice dripped onto the ground, and smoke instantly rose up. Do you want to try it first? Lin Xian then handed it to her. Morongyu took it, glanced at it, and swallowed it. Seems like my position in your heart is quite high. You just swallowed it directly. Lin Xian joked with a smile. Because in my heart, you are very powerful. Your strength might not be certain now, but in other aspects, you are more powerful than anyone I have seen before, including some top-tier experts. Morongyu didn't hide anything. She was a rather outspoken person. Then am I qualified to be your boyfriend? Lin Xian asked with a smile. Morongyu glanced at Lin Xian. I'm not looking for a boyfriend. That won't do. The two chatted as they walked back. As a girl, you have to pass down the legacy. You have to find a boyfriend. Morongyu didn't say anything. My Lin family's bloodline isn't weak, right? Why don't you cough? Don't think about this. You should leave these words to the other girls around you. Morongyu quickened her pace and walked away. Lin Xian scratched his head. Ah, this girl is so hard to get. Don't talk about getting her. I don't even have a chance. Soon they arrived at the camp. Did you find it? Everyone stood up. Here. Lin Xian threw the needed ones to them one by one. They looked at the things in their hands. What kind of poisonous grass is this? A combination of purple daylily and white spirit poisonous grass, Lin Xian said. Purple daylily? Zhugafeng frowned. Young Master Lin, are you kidding? This purple daylily is highly poisonous. I've eaten it. It's been more than 10 minutes, and the medicine has begun to take effect. It can neutralize the poison in the air without releasing spiritual power. Morongyu said. Hearing Morongyu's words, they were relieved and ate it one by one. What surprised them was that after eating it, they didn't feel the poison attack from the poisonous grass at all. This is amazing. Could it be that these two kinds of poisonous grass can neutralize each other? Zhugafeng asked Lin Xian. Yes, everything in the world reinforces and restrains each other. Although white spirit poisonous grass and purple daylily aren't on the same level, They are restraining each other. After they merge, they will be immune to the poison in the air. The medicine's effect will last for about a day. It's enough. Good. Then let's go to where the heavenly venerable Poison King is. Chapter 1134. Under Morongyu's lead, the 8 of them continued to go deeper and deeper into the forest to kill the demonic beasts. What surprised them was that the thing that Lin Xian gave them was really effective. It was much better than the antidote pill. Ahead of them, the poison increased sharply. They didn't know much about this Poison King. Because the academy wanted to test them, they didn't give them any information. No one knew what kind of demonic beast it was. They could only be flexible and adapt. At this moment, Xiao Yun's aura suddenly exploded. Be careful, Xiao Yun shouted angrily. Then, a spirit weapon appeared in his hand, and he slashed at his feet. Then he jumped back and pulled away. At the same time, Lin Xian and the rest also quickly retreated. What is that? Their eyes were on the ground. Amidst the countless poisonous grasses, a reddish-brown and black vine that resembled a slender, venomous snake slowly retracted. Xiao Yun's ankle had just been entangled by such a vine. Looking carefully, there were many such vines hidden under the poisonous grasses in front of them. The most terrifying thing was that they could actually move. Lin Xian's pupil shrank. This color, this situation. Could it be the Dark Blood Overlord flower? Lin Xian said in shock. It's the Dark Blood Overlord flower. Morongyu said slowly and took a step back. What's the Dark Blood Overlord flower? The others looked at the two of them in confusion. Morongyu then explained. It's a kind of poisonous grass that can be considered one of the top poisonous grasses in the continent. It's on the same level as the deep nether Yama spirit. Aside from its poison, the most terrifying thing about the Dark Blood Overlord flower is that it's a carnivorous plant. Carnivorous? Everyone was shocked. Lin Xian then said, the underworld blood tyrant flower isn't big, but it has a lot of vines. These vines can even extend to a distance of more than 500 meters, and it can sense the tremors of the ground several kilometers around it. Then, it will release a fragrance that attracts demonic beasts, and when the demonic beasts approach, the countless hidden vines will seize the opportunity to bind the demonic beasts. These vines have a poison that isn't inferior to the abyssal Yama spirit. Ordinary demonic beasts will lose their ability to struggle once they are poisoned, and then they will be dragged to the underworld blood tyrant flower. The underworld blood tyrant flower will absorb the demonic beast's blood as its own nourishment. So in a sense, this is a carnivorous plant. Hiss! When they heard Lin Xian's explanation, they were all shocked. If it was a demonic beast, they would feel that it was normal. However, a stalk of poisonous grass could be so terrifying. They had never seen something like this before, so they felt an unfamiliar sense of fear. For anyone, the simplest example would be if you were used to eating roasted grasshoppers, or even scorpions or centipedes, but you had never eaten anything before. Then, you would feel a deep sense of fear. It was the same principle now. They were used to seeing all kinds of powerful demonic beasts, but they had never seen a poisonous grass that could eat people. Naturally, they would feel a sense of horror. This was a very normal psychological phenomenon. As long as this underworld blood tyrant flower is in its adult stage, its poison can even kill heavenly venerables if they are not careful. Morongyu then glanced at Xiao Yun's ankle and said, fortunately, your body didn't come into direct contact with the vines, or else it would have pointed to disaster. Xiao Yun also let out a long sigh of relief. But Wu Yuhan took a step forward and said, then this underworld blood tyrant flower should be a top-notch poison of heaven and earth. The one who can possess such a top-notch poison of heaven and earth should be the heavenly venerate Poison King. Wu Yuhan's words made everyone realize this point. Although this underworld blood tyrant flower seemed to be made into a demonic beast, it was still a poisonous plant after all. To a demonic beast that cultivated poison, this was a supreme treasure. There were definitely benefits to cultivating around such a spiritual treasure. Therefore, Wu Yuhan's words caused everyone to subconsciously draw out their spirit weapons. It made sense. However, there were no clues so far. This is already within the range of the Poison King. Coupled with the existence of this underworld blood tyrant flower, it's very likely that the heavenly venerate poison king is not far away. Morongyu said cautiously. But if we fight nearby, the heavenly venerate poison king is already dangerous enough. With the threat of this underworld blood tyrant flower, we can't fight here. It's too dangerous, Duan Lingxiao said. Unless we eliminate the threat of this underworld blood tyrant flower first. Zhuge Feng said. I'll go, Lin Xian said. Everyone looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian said, I can try. I still have the spatial attribute. At most I can run out. Why did Lin Xian want to go? The underworld blood tyrant flower might be a good thing for Lin Xian. Lin Xian wanted to see if he could get his hands on the underworld blood tyrant flower. Although it was very dangerous, if he could get his hands on it and absorb it, it would greatly increase Lin Xian's poison power. Is it okay? Morongyu glanced at Lin Xian and asked. I can try. Okay. I'll go with you. Morongyu said. Morongyu had both the spatial and temporal attributes. She also had the ability to come and go safely. Duan Lingxiao frowned. Why was Morongyu always willing to go with Lin Xian? Of course, there was nothing wrong with accompanying him in this situation. Morongyu also had the spatial attribute. However, he always thought too much. No need. I'll go alone. The two of us will be a big target. There's nothing to be afraid of with the spatial attribute. What if something unexpected happens? It's fine, Lin Xian said. Then okay. Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglan looked at Lin Xian worriedly. They came here to protect Lin Xian. In order to protect Lin Xian, they were even willing to give up their lives. This was the mission Yi Renbing gave them. However, to let Lin Xian go alone. Let's go. Be careful. Don't cause any commotion. I'm worried that the Empyrean Poison King will find out. I'll try my best. After Lin Xian finished speaking, he disappeared from where he stood. The underworld blood tyrant flower's vines could extend for about 500 meters. Therefore, they only needed to jump 500 meters to see the underworld blood tyrant flower. When Lin Xian landed, his gaze fell directly on the underworld blood tyrant flower. It was about half a meter long, and its entire body was about the same color as the vines. It was a combination of blood brown and black. At a glance, one could tell that this thing was poisonous and very strange. It was actually very beautiful, but the more beautiful something was, the more dangerous it was. The moment Lin Xian landed, countless hidden and unhidden vines quickly stretched toward Lin Xian. The underworld blood tyrant flower's poison was very strong, but Lin Xian wanted to try to forcibly absorb it. He felt that since he could withstand the power of the abyssal Yama spirit, why couldn't the underworld blood tyrant flower? Moreover, Lin Xian now had the abyssal Yama spirit and the poison attribute. He had a high chance of trying. Whoosh! Following that, Lin Xian forcibly released his poison power. Step by step he walked over. The vines were all blocked by Lin Xian's poison power. Chapter 1135. After all, this was just a poisonous flower without any intelligence. Why could those vines take the initiative to attack others? It didn't mean that it had developed intelligence to control the vines to attack people or monster beasts. What would happen if it had developed intelligence? It was an unimaginable existence. Even if it was a heaven and earth spirit treasure that had existed for tens of thousands of years, it was definitely not something that a heavenly venerable realm poison king could possess. The reason it attacked was because the underworld blood overlord flower could sense vibrations in the ground within a 500-meter radius. As long as there were vibrations, the vines would instinctively bind the vibrating animals. This was a survival ability that had evolved into such a form, not a form of intelligence. Sure enough, after Lin Xian walked over, the vines approached one after another. However, when they sensed Lin Xian's poison power, they stopped. When Lin Xian stopped, all the vines also stopped. Then, Lin Xian came to the side of the dark blood overlord flower and felt the powerful spirit power and poison power rushing towards him. Lin Xian's face instantly turned purple. Then, Lin Xian forced out the poison power and directly enveloped the dark blood overlord flower. Then, Lin Xian sat down, closed his eyes, and forcibly absorbed the power of the dark blood overlord flower. One was the light green power released by Lin Xian, and the other was the light red power of the dark blood overlord flower. The two powers collided and attacked. Whoever won would win, and whoever lost would die. Lin Xian's skin color constantly changed between black, purple, light green, and normal. His expression became more and more painful, because this process would cause unbearable pain all over his body. After all, this was poison. Lin Xian needed to absorb all the poison into his body, then let his body adapt to the poison. Finally, it would gather in the small poison attribute Dantian. 10 minutes later, Lin Xian opened his eyes. The dark blood overlord flower in front of him had already withered. Lin Xian opened his hand, and a light red and light green poison power condensed in his palm. Lin Xian revealed an excited expression. The abyssal Yama spirit had fused with the underworld blood overlord flower's poison. This kind of poison could have many effects, but the main effect was the effect of the two great poisons. The poison directly doubled. Although Lin Xian rarely used the poison attribute, you had to admit that it was powerful. Furthermore, after absorbing the energy, Lin Xian's cultivation had advanced to 3-star Grand Dominion realm. Xue Binglan, who was sitting on the other side, pointed to the front and said, "The vines have withered." Everyone looked over and saw that the color of the vines had already faded, and there was no sign of life at all. "Looks like Lin Xian succeeded," Morongyu said. At this moment, a terrifying beast roar shook the entire poisonous despair. At the same time, a blood-red light flashed, and a terrifying power erupted in front of them, causing the ground to tremble. Everyone stood up. "Not good, this is the power of an Empyrean." At Lin Xian's side. "Quick!" So in the next instant everyone rushed forward. At this time, Lin Xian was about 20 meters away from the monster beast. He had just stood up from the ground, and his eyes were vigilant as he looked at the monster beast. This monster beast was an extremely large poisonous spider. Its entire body was a mixture of blood red and black, and it was a bit similar to the patterns of the underworld blood overlord flower. Its body was over 8 meters long, and it had 6 legs that were extremely sharp. Each leg even had many sickle-like reddish-brown blades. It was clear that if one was struck by these things, it would cause a wound that could cut through the body and cause instant death. Its eyes were blood red, and it had sharp teeth at the sides of its mouth. Disgusting saliva dripped from its mouth. Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign. This was the name of this poisonous spider. It was an extremely powerful existence. Nonsense! If a monster beast wasn't strong, how could it reach the Empyrean realm? This Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign had lived for at least 800 years. Schwa! In the next instant, the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign opened its mouth, and a blood-red energy spewed out at Lin Xian at an extremely fast speed. Whoosh! At the same time, a figure rushed in front of Lin Xian. Morongyu's body erupted with a powerful cold energy. The red energy instantly turned into an icicle that shattered into pieces. Whoosh whoosh! At the same time, one figure after another rushed up to fight with the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign. "Are you alright?" Morongyu asked Lin Xian. "I'm fine. Stand up and fight." With that, Morongyu gripped her spirit artifact and rushed forwards. "Everyone be careful. This is the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign. It's not slow and it's filled with poison. Its body is extremely hard, and its 8 eyes are its weak points. But you must not get close to it and attack its eyes. It is extremely dangerous." Morongyu shouted as she rushed forwards. Lin Xian stood up. Wan Xie, who had summoned his heavy sword, also rushed forwards. This Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign was a 1 or 2-star heavenly venerable. The Academy would definitely not let the Domain Realm cultivators deal with a 5 or 6-star heavenly venerable. That would be suicide. The 8 of them stepped onto the battlefield and used all sorts of martial skills. In close combat, most of their attacks were unable to cause too much damage to the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign. However, the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign was not slow. It was a kind of demonic beast that was half agile. Spatial lock. Morongyu naturally could not hold back against an existence of this level. She forcefully released her spatial energy and locked it down. Spatial lock. Spatial lock. At the same time, Lin Xian and Xiao Yan also released their spatial locks. Full power. ZZ. Lin Xian condensed lightning flash in his hand and threw it straight in. Icebound 1,000 miles. Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglan joined their hands. A terrifying cold energy instantly froze the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign. Snowflakes began to fall from the sky. However, the snowflakes turned into smoke as soon as they landed on the ground. 10,000 lightning blast. Zhuge Feng stepped lightly with his right foot. A blue Taiji diagram appeared under the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign. Following that, lightning flashed. Sword of Thunder. Duan Lingxiao's right hand slashed across the sword. The entire sword flashed with blue lightning. Then a blue lightning sword energy slashed out. Boom! Shadow Cage. Wu Yuhan's power erupted as well. A black cage appeared beside the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign and quickly locked him in place. Then it strangled him. Boom! Dust flew everywhere. The other side trembled. The 8 of them attacked together. Even a heavenly venerable realm poison sovereign would not have an easy time. When the dust slowly dissipated, the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign's giant body gradually appeared in front of them again. He's fine. Everyone was shocked. The Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign's defense is not low. If we want to defeat him, we can only attack his eyes. However, he's done a very good job of protecting his eyes. It'll be very difficult. Morong Yu's brows furrowed tightly. In the next instant, the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign roared and charged at Xue Binglan, who was closest to him. Time deceleration. Morong Yu released time deceleration while Xue Binglan pulled away. Chapter 1136. Eyes. They had to attack the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign's eyes. Otherwise they would not be able to cause any substantial damage. It was true that each of them was strong and could fight across realms, but this was still a large realm above them. The strength of an Empyrean was enough to instantly kill any one of them. Facing the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign's attacks, the slightest carelessness could lead to instant death. With the difference in realms and the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign's strong defenses, it was difficult to cause too much damage, but they had the advantage of numbers and a variety of abilities that allowed them to contend with the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign. Morong Yu's figure flickered as she rushed behind the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign. She raised her sword and slashed down. In that instant, a cold power burst forth. Now, Duan Lingxiao's thunder surged as he rushed in front of the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign. His thunder struck the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign's eyes. However, the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign's strength was not an exaggeration. A blood-red strength erupted, and the 2 of them were sent flying away. At the same time, Wu Yuhan replaced Duan Lingxiao's position with an unimaginable speed. The spirit artifact in her hand flashed with a red light as it pierced towards the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign's eyes. The Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign's had nimbly moved and stabbed towards Wu Yuhan. As if she had teleported, her figure disappeared from where she was and landed beside everyone. Whoosh! The next person joined in seamlessly as Xiao Yan rushed forward. At the same time, Zhuge Feng's hands constantly formed seals. All over the battlefield, a myriad of colors flashed. Speed, defense, and strength all increased. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. 10 minutes later, everyone was panting as they stood in various positions, surrounding the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign. None of them were injured, but everyone had exhausted a great deal of their strength. Facing a monster beast of this level, they would die if they were careless. Thus, in this battle, they had to be 120% vigilant. In addition, they had to constantly attack and release martial skills. Naturally, they had exhausted a great deal of their strength, but the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign did not consume so much strength. At most he would be injured, but that kind of injury was nothing to him. Morong Yu, Duan Lingxiao, and even Zhuge Feng had all used their heaven-tier martial skills, but they were unable to cause any damage to the Poison King. It was not that the heaven-tier martial skills were not strong, but it was because the Poison King had a higher cultivation level than himself. In addition, the Poison King's defense was not weak. When he released a heaven-tier martial skill, he would also release a surge of energy. He could easily resist the power of the heaven-tier martial skill. Therefore, there was only one way to defeat it, and that was to injure its vitals with great force. If the vitals were not damaged, all the attacks would be in vain. Buzz buzz buzz. Bloodshadow Blightsar shrieked. Blood-red poisonous fog spread out from its body. They could be immune to the poison in the air here. But it was impossible for them to be immune to the poison of an Empyrean Realm Poison King. Once the poison dispersed, they would have no choice but to leave the battlefield. There was no way they could fight Bloodshadow Poison Sovereign within the poison fog. Leave it to me. Zhuge Feng rushed to the front and formed a seal with his hands. Then, all the poisonous fog was blown upward by a sudden wind. Captain, we have to find a way to hit its eyes. Otherwise, we'll all be exhausted to death. Duan Lingxiao wiped the sweat from his forehead and said, the difference between the Empyrean realm and the domain realm was too great. A 1-star Empyrean could casually beat up 10 stars domain realm martial artists. They even had deity-tier martial skills, but they could not use them. Why? First, they were not sure if a deity-tier martial skill could kill Bloodshadow Blightsar. Although a deity-tier martial skill was heaven-defying, it was still used by a domain realm martial artist to attack an Empyrean realm demonic beast. The strength of an Empyrean realm demonic beast was not an exaggeration. Moreover, what if it missed? Second, once they used a deity-tier martial skill, they would lose all their combat ability. Their spiritual power would be directly depleted. Therefore, a deity-tier martial skill was a battle of life or death. In this kind of situation, they absolutely could not use a deity-tier martial skill without being sure. Morongyu had thought of many methods, but none of them could hit its vitals. Because the difference in cultivation realm was too great, she could not do anything to it. Moreover, this Bloodshadow Blightsar was very good at protecting its eyes. Bang bang bang. They continued to charge at Bloodshadow Blightsar. At the same time, they were thinking of a way to deal with it. If it really doesn't work, I'll try using a deity-tier martial skill. Morongyu's sword slashed through the air and landed on the ground. Lin Xian used the spatial attribute to send Xuebingxin, who was fighting a demonic beast, to his side and said, no, if you use a deity-tier martial skill, you will lose your combat ability. If it doesn't work, we will lose a general. This is the only way at the moment. Morongyu frowned as she stared at the Empyrean Realm Poison King and said, puff. At this time, Xiaoyin was careless and was hit by the Bloodshadow Blightsar's power. He immediately spat out a mouthful of blood. Careful, a few of them rushed forward. Xiaoyin clutched his chest and landed on the ground. F***ck. Why was he injured? He was too careless. During the battle, he even listened to their conversation, causing him to not even have time to use the spatial attribute. You go and heal first, Duan Lingxiao said to Xiaoyin. I'll leave it to you guys. Xiaoyin retreated to the back. Originally, it shouldn't have been this difficult. Any normal Empyrean Realm Poison King would have been killed by them. However, this Bloodshadow Blightsar's defense was very strong. Facing a demonic beast with such a strong defense, what could they do when their cultivation was so much higher? Lin Xian, use as little of your martial skills as possible. Save your spirit energy, and use your spatial energy to protect everyone. No problem. Lin Xian nodded. Other than Lin Xian, the rest of you, buy me 20 seconds. After 20 seconds, Lin Xian, send everyone away. Morongyu said. Alright. Lin Xian nodded. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Then, the remaining 6 people rushed up and released all kinds of martial skills to attract the Bloodshadow Blightsar's attention. After Morongyu pushed to a certain distance, her delicate body erupted with a terrifying aura. The aura became stronger and stronger, stronger and stronger. It was so strong that the sword in her hand was trembling. Her clothes and hair fluttered in the wind. The dust under her feet was swept up and the surrounding leaves were dancing. She was accumulating power. The power of this attack was definitely not an ordinary divine rank martial skill. However, they had no choice but to release this power now. Thousand Sealing Ice Pupils was useless against this kind of gap in cultivation. Lin Xian glanced at it. He didn't know if this move was enough. After 20 seconds, Morongyu's beautiful eyes suddenly opened, and a ray of light shot out. Tribulation of 10,000 lightning. She leaped and pointed the sword in her hand to the sky. The lightning in the void fell onto the tip of her sword. Ha! A power that seemed to be able to split the ground slashed towards the Bloodshadow Blightsar. At the same time, Lin Xian released his spatial attribute and brought everyone to a safe place. Chapter 1137. The moment Lin Xian landed, he once again released his spatial attribute and headed towards where Murongyu was. He needed to go over. The power of this move was incomparably terrifying. Even if Murongyu was very strong, she would probably be drained of her spirit energy. And if something unexpected happened, such as the Blood Shadow Poison Sovereign not dying, then wouldn't Murongyu die? Duan Lingxiao was just about to say that he wanted to go with Lin Xian. But Lin Xian had already disappeared from his spot. Lin Xian landed on the previous battlefield. At this moment, the battlefield was filled with dust and was very quiet. Lin Xian searched for Murongyu's figure in the dust. However, at this moment, Lin Xian heard some movement. Myriad Induction Heavenly Prison. Lin Xian did not hesitate to release the Heaven Tier martial skill that Linglong Shui gave him. Myriad Induction Heavenly Prison. The demonic beast did not die and still made a sound. However, it sounded a little weak, so this Myriad Induction Heavenly Prison was definitely fatal. A gravitational force similar to a black hole formed, sucking in all the dust and stones. At the same time, Lin Xian saw Murongyu. Whoosh! With a spatial jump, Lin Xian came to Murongyu's side. Are you okay? Lin Xian helped her up. I'm fine. It's just that my spirit energy is depleted. Murongyu shook her head. I didn't expect this kind of power to not be able to kill it instantly. Fortunately, this is a team mission. Otherwise, it would be impossible to win. Murongyu said. If it was a solo mission, she would definitely die in this situation. Unless she did not fight and directly used her spatial attribute to escape, this kind of power could not kill it. If her spirit energy was depleted, wouldn't she die if there was no one else? Is it done? Murongyu asked. Lin Xian took a look. The dust dispersed, and the demonic beast was sucked into the Myriad Induction Heavenly Prison. It kept struggling, but how could it escape with its heavy injuries? And I'm hanging up. Then Lin Xian's aura surged. 4 stars Domain Realm. From this, one could see just how difficult it was to advance to the Domain Realm. Only with the experience of the Heavenly Venerate Realm and the many demonic beasts he had killed, did Lin Xian manage to advance to the 4-star Domain Realm. It had to be said that in this experience, Murongyu had improved the most, and Lin Xian had gained the most. In any case, it was not a loss. What kind of martial skill is this? Murongyu frowned as she looked at the Myriad Temptations Heavenly Prison. This was actually a spatial attribute martial skill. She had never seen a spatial attribute martial skill in her entire life in the temple. The spatial attribute could release any kind of spatial energy, but it was unable to create a martial skill. And what Lin Xian released was actually a spatial attribute martial skill. This exceeded Murongyu's understanding. Wasn't it said that spatial and temporal attributes couldn't create martial skills? In theory, spatial and temporal attributes could also create martial skills. But because the difficulty was too great, it hadn't been created for so many years. So in reality, there were no spatial and temporal martial skills. But Lin Xian released it. How could Murongyu not be shocked? Ordinary people or geniuses couldn't create such a martial skill. But who was Linglong Shui? The Void Fox. There wasn't a single race in the continent that dared to claim that their understanding of space surpassed that of the Void Fox. This was an undeniable fact. Therefore, it was normal for Linglong Shui to be able to create a spatial martial technique. Lin Xian scratched his head. Spatial? Murongyu. It was indeed a spatial martial skill. As a spatial attribute martial artist, she felt that the power was opening up a special space and sucking it in. It was like a black hole. Creating a black hole with human strength. It was a little absurd, but it happened right in front of her. You created it? Murongyu asked in disbelief. That's definitely not it. She heaved a sigh of relief. That was still explainable. Then, she recovered a little and said, It's time to go back. The mission was completed, so it was time to go back. Let's go. Do you need me to support you? No need. Murongyu shook her head. and walked over with Lin Xian. Are you alright? They all ran over. I'm fine. The mission is completed. We should leave the extreme poison territory as soon as possible. Alright. Then they started on their way back. A few hours later, they left the extreme poison territory. The outside air is still the most comfortable. Xue Binglan took a deep breath of air. Everyone else did the same subconsciously. Even their breathing became more cautious. Xiao Yun's injuries were no longer a problem. As long as he didn't continue fighting, he would be fine after resting for a while. Xiao Yun refused to accept it. He was really unhappy. The others were more or less injured. But that was not called an injury. He was the only one out of the 8 of them who was injured. Moreover, he was of the spatial attribute. Wouldn't he lose face if this were to spread out? But what could he do? On this trip, everyone got something. Duan Lingxiao and Morongyu didn't advance because their realms were too high. Xue Binglan and Xue Bingxin also didn't advance because they were of the demon race. Everyone else advanced. Lin Xian advanced to 4-star domain realm and even absorbed the underworld blood overlord flower. The one who gained the most from this trip was probably Lin Xian. After the mission was completed, everyone was happy. Wu Yuhan also had a slightly relaxed expression on her face. When we go back, I want to eat a lot of delicious food, Xue Binglan said excitedly. Lin Xian smiled. Then, do you want to eat the delicious food I give you? Yes. Xue Binglan nodded. Suddenly she thought of something. Could it be? Okay, then I'll give it to you and your sister when we go back. Lin Xian smiled. Xue Bingxin probably guessed something and didn't say anything. Xue Binglan's pretty face was bright red. Bad guy. Morongyu, was that a divine-level martial skill you used at the end? Duan Lingxiao asked. Yes. So, that demonic beast was directly killed by you? No. Morongyu shook her head. What? A divine-level martial skill didn't kill it? Fortunately, we didn't directly use it at that time. Otherwise it would be dangerous, Duan Lingxiao said. It's not dangerous. There's also Lin Xian and Xiao Yun's spatial attributes. At most we'll run away first. But it doesn't matter. The mission is completed, Zhuge Feng said. How should I put it? I don't feel like I have a good sense of presence. Even if we killed the Heaven Venerable Realm Poison King, I don't feel like we did much. In the end, it was Morongyu's shocking attack. Zhuge Feng continued to say helplessly. Everyone felt that there was nothing wrong with his words. Everyone felt that they didn't do much. They just killed a lot of small monsters. Although these small monsters were also in the law realm and domain realm. Morongyu explained. Teamwork is all about teamwork. In order to complete a difficult mission, everyone's teamwork has been pretty good in the previous battles. This is what we've improved. Individual trials have their own benefits. At this moment, everyone stopped in their tracks. Chapter 1138. This was the demonic beast territory, and it was very far away from human living areas. It was more than 1,000 kilometers away. To be honest, it was impossible to see other humans at such a distance. Normal warriors could not come to this place. There might be some stronger ones, but to meet them was like looking for a needle in a haystack. But in front of them, a person was leaning against a tree with his head lowered, as if waiting for them. Swish, swish, swish. Everyone subconsciously took out their own spirit weapons. They had a very bad feeling about this. Who are you? Duan Lingxiao pointed at the person in front of him with his spiritual weapon. You have some strength to be able to come out of this poisonous land alive. I thought you would die in there. Saves me the trouble. The old man raised his head and revealed a bloodthirsty smile. Lin Xian's heart skipped a beat. F***ck. As expected. He had sensed danger, and it still came. Who was this person? At least it was not someone who was neither male nor female, like the 9th Fey God Temple. Therefore, Lin Xian could not accurately determine if they were from the 9th Fey God Temple. But it was obvious that he was here to kill them. As for whether he was here to kill Lin Xian or everyone, Lin Xian was only one of them. Lin Xian could not tell. Hearing this person's words, everyone stood together. This person is very strong. It's not convenient to fight. Retreat first. After Morongyu finished speaking, He released a powerful spatial barrier, causing everyone to disappear from where they stood. In the next moment, they did not know where they appeared. Anyway, they had already left that place. Who is that person? Why does he want to kill us? Xiaoyan asked with a frown. He's a fae. Schwebingxin said. Because she was a fae, she could tell that his aura was not that of a human. It was very difficult for humans to sense auras. Fae. Could it be the Fae God Temple? Zhuge Feng frowned. Because they were members of the Martial Arts Academy, they were destined to fight against the Monster God Temple and the Monster Tribe in the future. They were a great force for the human tribe in the future. Therefore, it was a good opportunity for the Monster God Temple to kill them before they grew up. If they were in the Demon God Temple's shoes, they would have done the same. However, they were puzzled as to how the Demon God Temple knew about their plan. Even knowing where they were going, did he know that there would be people doing missions today? It was impossible to say that there were spies of the Monster God Temple around the Martial Arts Academy, because the Martial Arts Academy was under strict surveillance. Even if a demonic beast appeared, the Martial Arts Academy would notice it, unless there were people from the Monster God Temple in the Martial Arts Academy. They were not stupid. When they guessed that the person might be from the Demon God Temple, they thought of this point. Trying to run? Just when they thought they were safe, the old man's voice suddenly appeared not far away from them. Everyone's pupils constricted. This person was not someone they could fight against. Since he took the initiative to find them, he must have absolute confidence in killing them. Of course, he knew that they had killed the Poison King in the Heavenly Master Realm. Therefore, this person was either at the high level of the Heavenly Master Realm or at the Great Void Realm. Morong Yu's spiritual power was exhausted. Following that, Lin Xian released his own spatial energy and disappeared with them once again. This is not good. He should also have the space attribute, and we are too far away. After landing, Lin Xian said with a frown. It was more than 1,000 kilometers away. They could not use the space attribute to cover that distance. Still want to run? The old man appeared again. Lin Xian also had a headache. The worst thing was that Bing had taken back the bead that she had given him. She said she wanted to improve it. However, the bead that Linglong Shui gave him was only enough for him to escape. The others could not escape. How could Lin Xian leave them behind? Lin Xian did not care about those men. They were not even friends. However, what about Morong Yu and the others? Then let's fight. Morong Yu's beautiful eyes flashed with determination. Everyone revealed an unwilling expression. Go! Swoosh swoosh swoosh. Facing such a top powerhouse, they had to take the initiative. If they lost the initiative, they would really lose it. However, the old man only released his aura. Everyone spat out a mouthful of blood and fell to the ground. Except for Lin Xian. Great Void Realm. When they felt this power, they despaired. If it was the Heavenly Master Realm, they might still be able to fight. But the Great Void Realm. 5 Thunder Celestial Phenomenon. Boom! Lin Xian rushed over. Thunder surged and blasted on his body. However, it was blocked by his faint power. Then, he waved his hand and Lin Xian fell to the ground. A bunch of trash. You want to fight against the demons? The old man released his power again. Boom! Everyone flew into the distance again. Puff! However, Lin Xian stood there without moving. Cough cough cough. Why? They propped themselves up with their elbows and looked at the scene in front of them. What was going on? Why did the old man only attack them? Why didn't he attack Lin Xian? Could it be that Lin Xian? He naturally would not attack Lin Xian. There were 2 reasons. First, attacking Lin Xian would incur the wrath of Bing. He could not afford to offend her. However, Bing had clearly said that if something happened to Lin Xian, she did not care how Lin Xian got into trouble. She was sure that it was Xie Qiui from the 9th Demon God's Temple. Therefore, he could not attack Lin Xian, not even hurt him. Second, this was a good thing. Why? If he were to attack everyone but not Lin Xian, what would the others think of it? They would think that Lin Xian was on his side. In that case, although he did not attack Lin Xian's reputation among the humans would be tarnished. This was also their plan. Therefore, when the time came, he would not touch Lin Xian at all. As for the others, he would deliberately injure one of them, but not kill him, so that he could spread the news to the human race. Clearly, in the eyes of the others, apart from Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglan, the suspicion was there some relationship between Lin Xian and the old man? Otherwise, why did he not attack Lin Xian? Morongyu did not believe it, but this scene forced her to think so. Lin Xian stood there. He had probably thought of this. Was he doing it on purpose? You're not going to kill me? Lin Xian looked at the old man and asked. Uft. The old man sneered and did not answer. Sometimes, it was not good to give too many answers. All right, I got it. Lin Xian took out his phone. Since you're not going to kill me, aren't you afraid that I'll call for reinforcements? He roughly knew that this was someone from the 9th Demon God's temple. Chapter 1139. The others watched from afar. They were really doubtful, but they were all injured and could only look forward. Ha ha ha. The old man laughed out loud. Do you know where this is? In this position, your human cell phone is nothing more than something that can emit light. What else can it do other than emit light? Do you think you can contact others? Your martial arts academy's spatial crystals are useless. Don't even think about it. The old man looked at Xiao Yun, who was about to use the crystal to escape, and sneered. In his eyes, at this distance, it was impossible for his strength to undergo any more changes. He had everything under control. Lin Xian took out his cell phone and sent a message to Linglong Shui right in front of him. The old man only thought that Lin Xian was just pretending. What was there to pretend about? Wife, ask for help. Don't forget what Lin Xian had on him. The signal duplication receiver invented by Miao Xiaomiao. This thing hadn't been popularized yet, so the shifters wouldn't know about its existence. Lin Xian had it with him. At this distance, he could send a message to Linglong Shui. I'm telling you, you're finished. You're in big trouble. Lin Xian pointed at the old man. The old man sneered. Suddenly, his pupils constricted violently, because he felt a terrifying force coming from behind him. Why did Lin Xian ask Linglong Shui to come and not Yirinbing? Because Linglong Shui had a spatial crystal. She could sense it immediately. Although Yirinbing was strong, she might not be. Linglong Shui stood in the air. Lin Xian looked at her touched. Wow. Luckily, he had these girls by his side. Otherwise, he would really be dead. Who are you? The old man felt the terrifying aura coming from Linglong Shui's body, and was terrified. Because Linglong Shui was quite tall, the people below could not see her face clearly. Linglong Shui didn't say a word. She waved her hand, and a space appeared behind the old man. In the next instant, the old man screamed as he was sucked in. The surroundings were silent. Linglong Shui glanced at Lin Xian but didn't say anything. After all, there were other people here. When everyone saw this scene, they were all shocked, but they also let out a long sigh of relief. They then sat up and began to heal their injuries. Lin Xian walked over to Morongyu. Give me your hand. Lin Xian said to Morongyu. Morongyu looked at Lin Xian in surprise. Then, she reached out her hand, and Lin Xian held her small white hand. Duan Lingxiao looked at this scene with a frown. In the next instant, Morongyu was shocked to feel her injuries recovering quickly. Then, Lin Xian released the law of creation and healed Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglan's injuries. Healing power? Morongyu was puzzled. However, she didn't feel any water or light elemental energy being released. She really didn't understand. Hand. Lin Xian said to Wu Yuhan. Wu Yuhan opened her beautiful eyes and ignored Lin Xian. Lin Xian shrugged helplessly. Then he forcefully held her hand. He didn't have to hold hands with the law of creation. But why didn't he seize such a good opportunity to take advantage of her? Wu Yuhan wanted to flip out, but when she felt her injuries recovering, she roughly understood. Thank you, she said faintly. Lin Xian took a deep breath. Then he sat down to recover his spiritual energy. For a moment, everyone was silent. It wasn't that Lin Xian didn't want to heal the men. These women were all his women, so he had to take good care of them. Among the men, only Zhuge Feng was more to Lin Xian's liking. However, his spiritual energy was empty, so he could only leave it at that. After about an hour, Everyone opened their eyes one after another. Lin Xian, what's going on? Duan Lingxiao opened his eyes and looked at Lin Xian. He frowned and asked, "What's going on?" Lin Xian asked, "You need to explain to me why the demon god temple's expert only killed us, and not you. He didn't even injure you." Xiaoyan stood up as well. He finally found an opportunity. This time, he was going to destroy Lin Xian. "That's right. I have reason to suspect that you, Lin Xian, are in cahoots with the demon race. You have to give us an explanation," Xiaoyan said. Xue Bingxin and Xue Binglan were actually quite flustered because they knew that Lin Xian did indeed have a special relationship with their demon race. However, they were also very angry. These people were really disgusting. Was that all they cared about? Did they not think about who saved them? Lin Xian shrugged. "Explanation? Does it count as an explanation if I saved you?" Lin Xian's words made them speechless. "Yes, although I was also suspicious at that time. Why didn't the demon race expert attack Lin Xian? I even suspected that Lin Xian was in cahoots with the demon race to get rid of us. However, Lin Xian saved us, so I dispelled this suspicion. If he was really in cahoots with the demon race, why would he save us when we were in a situation of certain death?" Zhuge Feng said. "Yes, I think so too. So I'm only suspicious. I even suspect that the expert who suddenly appeared was sent by Lin Xian." Xiao Yun gazed at Lin Xian, and then he said, "That expert just happened to appear here, and he killed him in passing for some unknown reason and saved us? If she was sent by Lin Xian, then the energy she released just now was obviously from the demon race. She's a demon race expert as well. So, I have no choice but to suspect your identity, Lin Xian." Xiao Yun finally found an opportunity to deal with Lin Xian, and he definitely wouldn't miss it. "Demon race? So what? Are all demons our enemies?" Lin Xian laughed. After that, Lin Xian continued, "If I'm an enemy, if I'm in cahoots with the demon race, then why would I spare your lives? Are you an idiot? Wouldn't it be fine if I just killed all of you? Just say that the mission failed and all of you died. Why would I spare your lives? Why would I spare your lives to tell others? Idiot." Of course, Lin Xian knew that Xiao Yun was deliberately making things difficult for him. "You." At this time, Duan Lingxiao walked over and patted Xiao Yun's shoulder. Then, he looked at Lin Xian and said, "Lin Xian is right. Although I do have some suspicions, these can be dispelled. Not all demons are enemies, but..." Duan Lingxiao looked at Lin Xian and said, "I will report this matter to the Martial Arts Academy, because the demon race expert who wanted to kill us didn't have any intention of touching you. She only wanted to kill us, so this made all of us suspicious." "Then do as you wish." Lin Xian shrugged. At that moment, Morongyu spoke up. "Many of the Yao clan's friends are also humans. That expert from before should be Lin Xian's friend, right? Those are two separate matters. Lin Xian did save us." Chapter 1140. Xiao Yun secretly clenched his fists. Yes, Lin Xian saved them, but he didn't care. He only wanted to get rid of Lin Xian, and this was a very good opportunity. If he did it well, Lin Xian would be kicked out of the Martial Arts Academy, and he might even be tried by the trial union. But Xiao Yun thought about it, and it was a little difficult. Indeed, they had seen a very suspicious scene. That powerful shifter didn't kill Lin Xian, and didn't even attack Lin Xian. His intention was obvious. He only wanted to kill them. Just based on this point alone, Lin Xian couldn't be cleared. He must be related to the Shifter God Temple. After all, humans and Shifter God Temple were related, and there were many precedents of humans betraying humans. But Lin Xian saved them, so it was contradictory. The previous part didn't make sense, because if he was really a traitor of humans, he definitely wouldn't have saved them. But Xiao Yun had to seize this opportunity. As long as he ruined Lin Xian's reputation, the crime of betraying humans was enough to get him killed. Morongyu didn't believe it. She didn't believe that Lin Xian was that kind of person. Plus, Lin Xian found someone to save them, so she didn't believe it. But the previous scene didn't make sense. But she felt that Lin Xian should know. He should know it himself. Let's talk about this later. Let's go back to the Martial Arts Academy first. Morongyu said. Okay. Then, everyone embarked on the journey back to the Martial Arts Academy. About 1 to 200 kilometers away, the Martial Arts Academy left them a car. They just needed to finish the mission and drive there. Everyone didn't say anything along the way. Morongyu took the initiative to go to Lin Xian's side. "Thank you for saving my life. I owe you a favor." Indeed, if it wasn't for the powerful shifter Lin Xian found, they would all be dead. Lin Xian smiled at Morongyu. "Then how do you plan to pay me back?" Morongyu shook her head. "I don't know. Just tell me. I'll definitely repay you." "Can I be your girlfriend?" Morongyu. "No," she answered decisively. Wow. In TV dramas, if the male lead saved the female lead, wouldn't the female lead repay him with her body? "Why don't you devote yourself to me as well?" Lin Xian said with a smile. "Change it. It's fine if you're not sincere. You don't have to pay me back." Lin Xian shrugged and quickened his pace. Morongyu quickened her pace and chased after him. She was definitely a person who would repay kindness. This was her principle, but there were some things that she couldn't do. For example, being Lin Xian's girlfriend. "Don't you think this is too much?" "Change it." Morongyu continued. "I say, sister, you don't have to pay me back. We're so close. I've even seen you in pajamas. Shouldn't I save you?" Morongyu. Wearing pajamas was normal. Why did it sound so wretched when it came to him? "But I must pay you back." "But you don't agree with what I said." Lin Xian said. "Morongyu. That really won't do." Lin Xian smiled. "Won't do? That means there's a chance." Morongyu. "Change it." She was really helpless. "Then, can you at least give me a kiss?" Lin Xian asked with a smile. Morongyu. Were all men like this? Did they only think in that direction? But kissing him might not be a big deal, although she was very unwilling. Morongyu was very conservative when it came to relationships between men and women. In this lifetime, her hand had only been touched by relatives of the opposite sex. Then it was Lin Xian. Because Lin Xian helped her to advance her 1,000 ice pupils, she was very grateful. Thinking about it, she seemed to owe him several favors. Advancing her 1,000 ice pupils twice, and then saving her life. Since when did she, Morongyu, need to owe anyone a favor? But she was really grateful. Lin Xian looked at Morongyu with a smile. Morongyu lowered her head and hesitated as she walked. Forget it, forget it. There's no need. I only helped you because I admire you. It's not a big deal. I did it willingly, Lin Xian said. Okay. Morongyu made her decision. Wasn't it just a kiss? So what? Lin Xian's eyes lit up. Kiss? Morongyu nodded slightly. Lin Xian was delighted. Kiss where? Lin Xian then asked. Morongyu. We'll see. Then she quickened her pace. Lin Xian was very happy. This Morongyu was really difficult. Too difficult, too difficult. But now it was all good. Soon they arrived at the car. Then, they got in the car and drove toward the Martial Arts Academy. A few hours later, they arrived at the Martial Arts Academy. Many people in the Martial Arts Academy looked at them. They knew that these people were going on a mission together. But they didn't know who was with whom. When they saw Morongyu and the others come out, they were secretly shocked. Morongyu Duan Lingxiao Zhugafeng. Wu Yuhan Foggy Grass? What kind of mission did they go on? Some of the teams were very difficult. There was even a mission to kill a heavenly venerable. What kind of mission did they go on together? Damn. Lin Xian. Isn't that Lin Xian? He's also there? Why is he doing the same mission as them? Look, Duan Lingxiao and the others seem to be injured. It's normal to be injured, but I don't understand why Lin Xian can go on a mission with them. Could it be that Lin Xian is already on the same level as them? The best in the martial arts academy? It's probably just that this mission is lacking people. And Lin Xian just happened to register for this mission. So they let him go. How can he be on the same level as them? After they got out of the car, they walked away. Morongyu and the others went to submit the mission, while Lin Xian walked away. Xiaoyan did not follow him. He still had very important things to do. He wanted his own people to investigate this Lin Xian and see what kind of relationship he had with the demon clan. If they could find out even the slightest bit, then he would be finished. Come in. Morongyu, Duan Lingxiao, and Zhuge Feng walked into Luo Xiu's office. Luo Xiu was relieved to see them back. The mission is completed? Morong Yu nodded, then took out the monster crystal. It's done. Good. Not bad. Not bad at all. Is everyone okay? Morong Yu said. We're a little injured, but what? Duan Lingxiao said. But it wasn't during the mission. On the way back, we met an expert of the Demon God Temple in the higher void stage. What? Luo Xiu was shocked. And then? Later, Lin Xian invited an expert in time. So we were lucky to escape with a little injury, Zhuge Feng said. There's such a thing. Could it be that the Martial Arts Academy? Luo Xiu paced slowly. Duan Lingxiao nodded. Our guess is that someone or some people in the Martial Arts Academy are spies of the Demon God Temple. Chapter 1141. Their mission could not be said to be very confidential, but only the Martial God Academy knew about it. There were only 4,000 of them on the mission. In addition, the Martial God Academy had carried out a large-scale inspection in the surroundings. Even a small animal could be detected. Therefore, Luo Xiu was very shocked when he heard this news. The most likely possibility they could think of was that there was a mole in the Martial Arts Academy from the Demon God Temple. The mole was not necessarily a demon. It could be a human. This was definitely not good news. But it was absolutely possible. Then Duan Lingxiao said, the expert of the Demon God Temple attacked 7 of us. But he didn't attack Lin Xian. He didn't even touch him. What? Luo Xiu frowned. You mean that the expert of the Great Void Realm wanted to kill you? But he didn't attack Lin Xian at all? Yes. So at that time, we also suspected that Lin Xian had colluded with the Demon God Temple. However, a powerful expert of Lin Xian's came in time and saved us. That powerful expert was from the Demon God Temple, Duan Lingxiao said. Luo Xiu paced slowly. In that case, Lin Xian didn't want to kill you. Otherwise, why would he save you? So Lin Xian didn't have anything to do with the Demon God Temple. After all, he was an expert of the Great Void Realm. You couldn't have escaped from him. Therefore, if Lin Xian really colluded with the Demon God Temple, you couldn't have come back alive. Luo Xiu said. Yes, we think so too. However, it's hard to explain why the expert of the Demon God Temple didn't attack Lin Xian. Duan Lingxiao said. I think there's a high chance that Lin Xian caught the attention of the Demon God's Hall in some way. The Demon God's Hall didn't kill Lin Xian because they wanted to take him away. He has some sort of value to the Demon God's Hall. Also, although I didn't get a clear look at the senior who saved us, I vaguely saw that she was wearing modern human clothes. This proves that she lived in the human world. That's possible. Morong Yu trusted Lin Xian very much. She really felt that he shouldn't be such a person. If he was a traitor to the human race, why would he save people? It didn't make sense. On the other hand, she knew that Lin Xian was very special and powerful. He had some powerful abilities, and this was only what he had shown. There must be more that he hadn't shown. It was normal for the Demon God Temple to be interested in him. Alright, I got it. You guys go back and rest. Don't tell anyone about this. Do you understand? Understood. Then they walked away. Luo Xiu also went to the dean's place and told him about this. We've investigated Lin Xian. It's unlikely that he's a traitor. As Morong Yu said, he might have some value to the demon race, or the demon race might want to capture and torture him. After all, when the demon race attacked Tianhua City, it was Lin Xian who destroyed the demon race's void heavenly crystal, which led to the destruction of the demon race's decades of hard work. In addition, the various medicines of the Yixian group helped the human race. Do you think such a person could be a traitor to the human race? Luo Xiu nodded. Indeed. As for the expert of the demon race who saved them, it's purely a personal opportunity. Many of the demon race are friends of the human race. Didn't Morong Yu say that she was wearing human clothes? There's a great chance that she's indeed our friend. Alright, let's not worry about this anymore. However, there's a more important matter now. Dean, you mean? There must be a spy of the Demon God Palace in the Martial Arts Academy. We have to find them. Otherwise, they will be a great threat to the Martial Arts Academy and this group of children. But what should we do? The dean of the martial arts academy said. It's easy to find them. Don't forget that our martial arts academy app can choose tasks. No one knows what others choose. Coincidentally, Lin Xian and his group are the top existences in our martial arts academy. It's normal that the demon god palace wants to get rid of them, because they will be a huge hidden danger to the demon race in the future. This is a purposeful attack, not a random one. And how did the spy of the demon god palace know where they went and which task they were going to complete? Luo Xiao's eyes lit up when he heard the dean of the martial arts academy's words. I understand. Dean, you mean to investigate from the people they know? Yes. Okay. I'll go now. It was very simple. No one knew which mission they had completed and where they had gone. This was confidential, so it was easy to investigate. This informant should be someone close to them, who had a good relationship with them. From their mouths, they would know who had completed the mission with whom. Because they knew each other, it was easy to investigate. It might even include one of them. Although it seemed unimaginable, it was a very normal phenomenon. Lin Xian had nothing to do after he came back from the task. Next, he would definitely eat, drink, and have fun with the girls. He had gained a lot from this trip. He was very satisfied. He sent a message to Ling Ying and the others. Because Lin Xian had given them the signal copying device invented by Miao Xiaomiao, he felt more at ease. Finally, before Ling Ying came back, Han Chuxue came back. Xiao Xinyue was on her way, and Wang Xintong was also coming back. Little Chuxue is back. Lin Xian showed a smirk. Then he hummed a tune and went to Han Chuxue's dormitory. Shua. Releasing the power of space, Lin Xian came to Han Chuxue's place. At this moment, Han Chuxue was sitting on the sofa watching TV. She was wearing pajamas and had obviously just taken a shower. After all, for a beautiful girl, the first thing she would do when she came back from a battle was to take a shower. Then she saw Lin Xian. Are you hurt? Han Chuxue stood up and asked Lin Xian with concern. No, how could I be hurt? How are you? Han Chuxue shook her head. I'm fine. I'll go get you some water. Then she went to the kitchen and poured some water for Lin Xian. Lin Xian, on the other hand, walked behind her and hugged her from behind. Han Chuxue's pretty face immediately turned red. Hee, little Chuxue. We haven't been intimate for a long time. I missed you so much. Lin Xian whispered in her ear. Go take a shower. Han Chuxue pouted. This bad guy must be sweating all over. I'm not taking a shower. Little Xinyue is coming back. We have to hurry. It's not like you don't know my schedule. If I take a shower now, I won't be able to make it. Han Chuxue's beautiful face was dyed with a layer of red. Go take a shower. If you don't, I won't let you. Then help me take a shower. Han Chuxue nodded gently. Then the two walked into the bathroom. After about 5 minutes, the door opened and Xiao Xinyue walked in. Chuxue, are you taking a shower? Xiao Xinyue asked. Chapter 1142. Lin Xian and Han Chuxue, who were in the bathroom, trembled all over. Damn. I just King entered the water and didn't do anything. I just felt like doing something. And suddenly, King went home? Wasn't this a trap for him? Lin Xian was very uncomfortable, especially now that he was holding it in. Well, I'm taking a shower. Han Chuxue said to the outside. Well, then I'm going to take a shower too. Xiao Xinyue didn't suspect anything, but she saw a man's shoes at the door. A man? That could only be Lin Xian, right? Is Lin Xian here? Xiao Xinyue asked. No, he didn't come. Then the shoes at the door are? They were left here before. Oh, then I'm going to take a shower. Xiao Xinyue then walked into her room. Why was something wrong? Lin Xian came here as a guest to have fun. Why would he leave his shoes here? Did he leave with the slippers at home? No matter how she explained it, it didn't make sense. She felt very strange. Han Chuxue breathed a sigh of relief, then looked at Lin Xian and said, You go back first. But Lin Xian lowered his head to take a look. Han Chuxue's pretty face was red. Xinyue is outside, you can't. Then help me. Lin Xian grinned. Han Chuxue. No. She turned her pretty face to the side. Xiao Xingyue was still outside, how could she? Then I won't leave. Lin Xian said. Han Chuxue bit her red lips slightly, then slowly lowered her body. Good girl. After that, Lin Xian put on his clothes, released the space attribute and slipped away. Hey! Lin Xian walked comfortably in the martial arts academy. This Han Chuxue was too obedient. She was such a cold girl, but after he got her, she became the most obedient one. Thinking about it, Ling Ying definitely wouldn't be so obedient. Thinking about it, he was also happy, really happy. On the way back, Lin Xian received a message from Ling Ying. She was also on her way back. Then Lin Xian and Zhao Yunqi chatted. They often chatted. Lin Xian, I challenge you. Several people blocked in front of Lin Xian. Lin Xian raised his head and glanced at them. No challenge, no challenge. Don't you know that I just came back from a mission? You can refuse the challenge today. But this young master sees that your condition is very good. Then it's also within the rules that I won't accept your challenge. Lin Xian then walked away. Wouldn't this affect his conversation with the girl? Why don't we go to Earbook's place? Lin Xian thought to himself as he walked. There shouldn't be much to do in the martial arts academy for the next 2 days. He should be able to accompany the other girls in Lin and City. Then, he would find some time to accompany the girls in the martial arts academy. Besides, there was no choice. There were too many girls. He couldn't split himself up. Especially this Earbook. Lin Xian was used to being ordered around by her. Suddenly, there was no news from her for many days. Lin Xian really missed her. Don't you think this person is despicable? It was so uncomfortable to be ordered around all day. Now that she was suddenly gone, he was panicking. The main thing was that she was pregnant with Lin Xian's baby. And to be honest, Earbook's appearance was really on the level of a goddess. That was also Lin Xian's happiness. After thinking about it, Lin Xian went to Shui Bingxin's place. What's the matter? Shui Bingxin ran downstairs. Do you have any way to go to your boss's place? She took back the bead she gave me last time. I'll go and see her. Shui Bingxin was slightly surprised. Didn't he refuse to go no matter what? Sure enough, men were like this. Yes. Then she handed Lin Xian a bead. Thanks. Next time when you come back, I'll pamper you and your sister. Lin Xian smiled and pinched her pink cheeks. Then he walked away. Lin Xian arrived at his 80th peak. After confirming that this place was not under anyone's surveillance, he crushed the bead. Whoosh! In the next instant, Lin Xian disappeared and appeared on Earbook's heavenly island. Mr. Lin Xian. When the beautiful girls saw Lin Xian, they all bowed respectfully. Where's your boss? Lin Xian asked. She should be in her room. Lin Xian nodded and walked over. Earbook was lying on the bed, playing with her phone. Then there were a few beautiful girls massaging her legs, feet, and shoulders. It was really a fairy-like life. Lin Xian walked to the door and took a look. He felt uncomfortable. This was 2F** king enjoyable, wasn't it? There were even girls feeding her grapes personally. Then he looked at Linglong Shui. The two of them were in two completely different situations. Earbook glanced at Lin Xian. Someone actually took the initiative to come over. How rare. Earbook said. Of course I came to see you. Lin Xian smiled awkwardly. Earbook then raised her hand. The girls walked out respectfully. Lin Xian then sat beside her. If you didn't come to see me, I would have missed you. Lin Xian said with a smile. What did you miss? Earbook took a bite of the grape and asked. I missed you. Lin Xian smiled. Did you miss me or my body? I'm afraid that Linglong Shui won't let you touch her, right? Earbook laughed. Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose. I'm not craving for her body. You mean that I'm not as pretty as Linglong Shui? Lin Xian. No, it's because you're pregnant. Lin Xian scratched his head awkwardly. Then, I don't see you touching Linglong Shui less when she's pregnant. Lin Xian. I was wrong. Lin Xian moved closer to her and held her foot. Earbook's delicate body trembled slightly. For many women, their feet were very sensitive places, and Earbook was no exception. It was fine for a woman to touch it, but it would be strange for a man to touch it. Let me massage Lord Demon God's foot. Earbook then lay there and played with her phone. Use more strength. Okay. After massaging for about 10 minutes, Lin Xian's hand was a little sore. There was nothing he could do. He felt that he had let Yi Renbing down. He had made her pregnant. Who could bear that? Hey, about the baby, do you plan to? Lin Xian asked. What? You don't like it? Yi Renbing glanced at Lin Xian. No. I'm just afraid that you'll dislike it. It's not that I dislike it. I'm just worried that you'll feel uncomfortable. I dislike it. I have such a noble bloodline, yet I'm pregnant with a despicable human's child. How can I not dislike it? Of course not. She said that on purpose. She couldn't wait to protect her own child. How could she dislike it? I want to eat barbecued meat. Help me barbecue it. Yi Renbing stretched, then sat up and said. Okay. Let's go to the garden. What do you want to eat? Chicken wings? Or pork belly? This. Yi Renbing pointed at Lin Xian. Lin Xian lowered his head to take a look. F***ck. His whole body trembled. Chapter 1143. Yi Renbing smiled when she saw Lin Xian's expression. We'll eat at night. For now, let's eat something else. She walked out after saying that. Lin Xian. Wow. This Yi Renbing was a woman that even he admired. Her words made you feel like she was a wanton woman, but she wasn't. She was very valiant. Lin Xian followed her out. The two of them sat in the beautiful back garden. The girls helped to set up the barbecue grill. Naturally, they could get whatever they wanted. However, Lin Xian only liked to eat normal meat like chicken, duck, fish, and so on. Lin Xian personally went to choose the most popular ingredients for barbecue: chicken wings, tenderloin, oysters, potato chips, and so on. Lin Xian felt that Yi Renbing's life was simply invincible. She could do whatever she wanted and eat whatever she wanted here. Because it was one of the few days when she truly came into contact with the human world. She learned a lot from Linglong Shui. After that, she fell in love with many human delicacies. Every day, people would regularly go to the human world to purchase ingredients, drinks, snacks, and even red wine. She wasn't afraid of spending money. It was unimaginable. What did a demon god think? Do you want to call Linglong Shui and the others over? Yi Renbing asked. Didn't you want to eat that tonight? Call her over? Let's eat together. Lin Xian. No. She's different from you. Lin Xian said helplessly. Trash. Yi Renbing said. No, how am I trash? Lin Xian was dumbfounded. Even the demon god had sex with him. And Linglong Shui was also obedient to him. This was something that no one in the history of mankind had ever been able to do. Instead, he had become a cripple. You haven't even touched Linglong Shui a few times. Aren't you trash? Lin Xian. A man can't even convince Linglong Shui to serve you with another woman. Isn't he a piece of trash? Lin Xian. Sister, your thinking is too tough. Whether or not you're brave is one thing. Do you dare to say that you've never thought about it? Yi Renbing smirked as she looked at Lin Xian. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. I'm going to barbecue. Do you like oysters? It's garlic flavored. And I'll add some small chili pepper for you. It's very fragrant. Lin Xian was barbecuing. Lin Xian liked to eat barbecue very much. He felt that many things were simply delicious when they were barbecued with some chili, especially oysters. You should eat more. It's said that this thing can increase the intensity of that aspect. Yi Renbing said with a smile. Lin Xian. Yes, I'm afraid that you won't be able to withstand it. It's okay. Anyway, Linglong Shui and Bing Lingyue will accompany me tonight. I'm just afraid that you won't be able to withstand it. At this moment, the two girls walked in with a few people. It's here. Lin Xian looked over. Linglong Shui, Yi Renbing, and Ling Longyue had arrived. Damn. Lin Xian then looked at Yi Renbing. The phone beside her was lit up. God knows when she sent them a message. The rest of the night will depend on your ability. Yi Renbing smiled at Lin Xian. No, wait. What does this woman mean? Other women all wish that a man only belongs to them. When they see a man flirting with another woman, they want to twist his head off. But this Yi Renbing is pushing him into a pile of women? Wow. Someone is going to die tonight, right? It smells so good. Ling Longyue then ran over and stood beside Lin Xian. Looking at the delicious food that Lin Xian had barbecued, she couldn't help but swallow a mouthful of saliva. She also loved barbecued food. She felt that the taste of barbecued food was like heaven and earth. Even some of the dishes were delicious. Add some chili noodles. Wow. You want to try it first? Lin Xian passed a skewer of barbecued wings to Ling Longyue. Furthermore, it was a boneless barbecued wing. Okay. Ling Longyue couldn't wait to receive it. This color, this chili, this taste, the saliva in her mouth was instantly diluted. Then she took a bite. Her eyes were wide open and little stars appeared. Ling Longshui and Yi Renbing walked over and sat beside them. Why are you guys here? Yi Renbing said that since we have nothing to do, we should gather together and eat something. So we decided to come. Ling Longshui sat beside Lin Xian. Lin Xian then touched her lower abdomen. It had been 3 months. Actually, the bulge wasn't obvious. After all, she was wearing quite a lot of clothes. But when you touched it, you could feel it. Yi Renbing took a look, and then subconsciously looked at her own stomach. Can we eat this now? Foodie Ling Longyue stared at the lamb skewer and asked. Yes, you guys can eat. I'll continue barbecuing. Lin Xian then took out the ingredients. Didn't you say that barbecued food goes best with beer? Yi Renbing asked. Then, she snapped her fingers, and a dozen girls each carried a box over. Wow. What are you doing? Lin Xian asked in confusion. Didn't you say that one person can drink a box of this beer? Lin Xian. It's not easy for us to get together today. Let's drink to our heart's content. Whoever uses spirit energy to dissolve the alcohol will be punished. Yi Renbing looked at them and said, Lin Xian. For some reason, he felt that Yi Renbing had some bad intentions. Let's eat. Why do you have to set such a rule? Ling Longshui asked in confusion. If one uses spirit energy to dissolve the alcohol, what's the point of drinking? Yi Renbing said. All right. You can drink less. Yi Renbing looked at Ling Longyue and said. I'll eat something good. Ling Longyue said. Lin Xian shook his head secretly. What was this demon god trying to do? She was really lawless. Then, they chatted and ate while Lin Xian acted as the coolie. Here. Yi Renbing sat on the other side of Lin Xian and put a roasted wing in front of Lin Xian's mouth to feed him. Little Bing Bing is still the best. Lin Xian grinned. Bing Lingyue didn't say anything. Who were the people in the day? Ling Longshui thought of something and asked Lin Xian. I don't know. They were from the demon race. Maybe they were from the 9th demon god temple. Lin Xian said. The 9th demon god temple? Yi Renbing licked the condiments on her red lips and looked at Lin Xian with her beautiful eyes. They're looking for you again? Lin Xian nodded. I was doing a mission with some people from the Martial Arts Academy. When I came back, someone was waiting for me. He didn't kill me, but he wanted to kill others. It's fine as long as he doesn't kill you. Yi Renbing then took a sip of wine. No, I have many friends around me. I can't just watch something happen to them. Yi Renbing wiped the corner of her mouth and said, I don't care about your friends. Lin Xian then looked at Ling Longshui with grievance. You've made too many enemies. Sometimes having too many enemies will affect the people around you. Damn. I'm not the one who wants to make enemies. Ask her. Lin Xian pointed at Yi Renbing. Yi Renbing. Chapter 1144. Bing Lingyue then said. It's probably because the 9th Fey God Temple is a male Fey God who admires Yi Renbing. Then, he learned of the relationship between Yi Renbing and Lin Xian. That's why he targeted Lin Xian. All of them were very smart. Very little information was enough for them to guess certain things. Then who's to blame? Yi Renbing said. Blame me, blame me. Lin Xian gave a long face. You will be apprehensive as well. Don't worry too much, Ling Longshui said to Lin Xian. Yeah. I'm full. Shall we play? Yi Renbing said as she stretched her back. Play what? Yi Renbing then looked at Lin Xian and asked. Don't you humans have a rather interesting game called Truth or Dare? Let's play that. Alright. I want to play too. Ling Longyue said happily. Don't. Lin Xian's expression turned ugly. Why? You don't dare to play? Logically speaking, he really didn't dare to play. Normal truth or dare was nothing. But what did it mean to play with these people? One was at the Great Void Realm, and the other was about to step into the Great Void Realm. Two were at the Heavenly Tao Realm. To play truth or dare with them, he was courting death. F***K. What was a man like him afraid of? They were all his women, so what could they do? Furthermore, they weren't the kind of girls who wouldn't allow him to flirt outside. They probably knew many things, but they had never mentioned it to Lin Xian. For example, the few girls around Lin Xian were related to Lin Xian. They were probably aware of it. Their perception and sense of smell were too powerful. Any girl with the slightest hint of Lin Xian's scent could be smelled by them. Play. Afraid of you? I'm just afraid you can't afford to play. Pfft, can't afford to play? That's because you can't afford to play. Two at the Heavenly Tao Realm, one at the Great Void Realm, and one at the Heavenly Venerable Realm. And you say they can't afford it? Yirenbing couldn't help but laugh. But I'm a man. Whatever. Yirenbing stood up and walked towards the huge hall. Go play in my room. Ling Longshui also got up and followed. Just wait to lose. Ling Longyue wrinkled her cute little nose beside Lin Xian. The girls were definitely on the same side. Tonight Lin Xian will die. Lin Xian shrugged his shoulders. He was a man, yet he was playing truth or dare with a few women. Who would lose out? Little icy. Lin Xian giggled as he held Bing Lingyue's hand. In his memory, he did not seem to have touched her much. Bing Lingyue's beautiful face blushed. Why don't we? Lin Xian whispered into her ear. Bing Lingyue was speechless. Then, without saying anything, she quickened her pace and caught up with them. Sigh. Lin Xian smiled and sighed. Really, how many lifetimes of good fortune did he have? Bing Lingyue was also a cold girl. She was an empress, but she was always gentle in front of Lin Xian. In this world, other than Ling Longshui and the others, Lin Xian was the only one who could enjoy her gentleness. Wow. He realized that he was not a man at all. He had established a relationship with Bing Lingyue for so long, but he still hadn't touched her? F***ck. This was amazing. He admired himself. He had not touched such a beautiful woman. And she was an empress? Amazing. Then, the five of them went to Yirenbing's huge room. The room was unimaginably clean. You could even lie on the floor and roll around. The entire floor was covered with soft and comfortable furry blankets. Especially the bed. It could fit more than 10 people. Let's play on the bed, Yirenbing said. Then, they took off their shoes and sat on the bed one by one. In a circle, Lin Xian's hands kept touching Yirenbing and Ling Longshui. Ling Longshui, who was sitting opposite him, wanted to bite him to death. How do we play? Ling Longshui asked. Yirenbing stretched out her hand, and a roulette appeared in her hand. Then, she placed it between them and looked at Lin Xian. You tell us. Let's do it this way then. We'll take turns. For example, the first one is the exquisite spin. Whoever it turns to will choose truth or dare. Then the person on his left will choose truth or dare. What do you think? Lin Xian said. Okay. Are there any rules that are not allowed? For example, what if we can't do something? TSK, what can't we do? As for you, we will naturally choose something that you can do. Yirenbing looked at Lin Xian and said. You said it, don't regret it. Lin Xian smirked. Ling Longshui saw Lin Xian smirk, and knew that things weren't going well. She wasn't as open as Yirenbing. What if this Lin Xian did something that she couldn't do? Forget it. Thinking about it, they were so close. What couldn't they do? Then let's start. Ling Long, you turn first. Ling Longshui nodded, and turned the roulette slightly. The needle spun quickly, and then slowed down, until it finally pointed at Yirenbing. Ha ha ha. Lin Xian couldn't help but laugh. Who told you to be so arrogant? Life, it's all life. Lin Xian was very straightforward. He just happened to be the first to the left of Ling Longshui. So Lin Xian was the one who gave Yirenbing the question. Have you ever seen this sovereign scared? Yirenbing laughed and said, Dare. Lin Xian. Lin Xian thought that he might be the only one who couldn't afford to play. They were all big shots. Normally, shouldn't you test the waters with a truth first? Why did you start with a dare? Don't be so fierce, okay? You're making me panic. Yirenbing looked at Lin Xian provocatively. Then I'll give you the question. Lin Xian thought for a moment and decided to start gently. Then, he looked at Yi Renbing and said, "How many pieces of clothing are you wearing?" Yi Renbing glanced at him. "Pajamas, underwear. Pajamas, tua." Yi Renbing. The girls. Ling Longhua looked at her clothes silently, and then pulled down the zipper. Wow, she was still the same hooligan. So scary. Yi Renbing laughed and then took off her pajamas. Then Lin Xian sighed and gulped. Too much, too much. Wow. No, this hooligan is too bad. Ling Longhua said with grievance. The others were a little better. They were all Lin Xian's women. Bing Lingyue was probably the second most embarrassed. I'm already being very kind by not letting her drag down the guangguang, Lin Xian said. Do you want to drag down the guangguang? Yi Renbing smiled and looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian. Wow. No, he couldn't win against her. Let's continue, Lin Xian said, and then it was his turn. The needle stopped in front of Lin Xian. Lin Xian. Chapter 1145. Lin Xian expressed that he was a little flustered. For some reason, he felt like he was a cute little bunny. And the four girls beside him were all big bad wolves. Especially Yi Renbing, who was the mother wolf. Choose. Yi Renbing smirked as she looked at Yi Tianyi. Lin Xian felt helpless. The person who proposed the condition was the person on the left of the roulette wheel, Bing Lingyue. Bing Lingyue was probably the most gentle towards Lin Xian out of the four girls. Ling Longshui might also be gentle, but Bing Lingyue was probably the most soft-hearted towards him in this game. Truth. Lin Xian made his choice without hesitation. What a coward. Yi Renbing sneered. F***ck. She was laughing with disdain now, but she would scream as loud as she could. I'm not being a coward. I'm just testing the waters. Yes, you're a coward. Yi Renbing Jie chose dare and you, a man, chose truth first. What a coward. Ling Longyue made a face at Lin Xian. Don't force me to spank you, Lin Xian said fiercely. You dare. Ling Longyue stared back without any fear. Humph. She wasn't the only one here. There were 3 other powerful sisters. Ling Wei, you choose the question. Yi Renbing looked at Bing Lingyue and said. Sister Bing, you can't choose a simple question. It's truth, so it's very simple. If the question is any simpler, it'll be boring. Ling Longhua said. Bing Lingyue wasn't the kind of person who would come up with such dirty questions. However, she felt that dirty questions were more interesting. Ask him how many girls he's had sex with, Yi Renbing said. Bing Lingyue looked at Lin Xian and said helplessly. Let's choose this. Lin Xian. Wow. He really didn't want dare. This topic. Don't lie. There's no point in lying. Furthermore, this sovereign can tell what you're talking about. Yi Renbing said with a smile. Lin Xian scratched his head. Forget it. They weren't the kind of people who couldn't talk about it. Let me calculate. Ling Ying Han Chushua Xiao Runing. Ling Long Shui Yi Renbing. It seemed like there were only these 5, right? Bai Xian might be able to have sex with him, but Lin Xian couldn't. 5. Only 5. Yi Renbing smiled disdainfully. I'm done. Continue. Then, Bing Lingyue turned the roulette and pointed at herself. Dare, Bing Lingyue said. Okay, then let's start with something simple. Punch Lin Xian. Yi Renbing smiled. Lin Xian. What? Sister, stop fooling around. Bing Lingyue punched him? Wouldn't he have to kick a punch from someone at the virtualization stage? What? You can't do it with one punch. Wow. Don't target me. Lin Xian's face fell. Quick. Let Lingyue punch him, Yi Renbing said impatiently. Lin Xian looked at Bing Lingyue and said. Come on. Just a light punch. No, it has to be with spiritual power, Yi Renbing said. That won't do. You've already said it. If you add now, you'll be shameless, Lin Xian said. Yi Renbing shrugged. Okay. Then, Bing Lingyue punched Lin Xian in the chest. Of course, it was a gentle punch. After all, Bing Lingyue was still gentle. I'll let you escape once, Yi Renbing said. Just you wait, Lin Xian said fiercely. Do you think I'm afraid of you? Yi Renbing found it hilarious. What was he waiting for? Then, it was Yi Renbing's turn. In the end, The pointer pointed to Linglong Shui. Yirenbing smirked. Dare. Linglong Shui said calmly. Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose. Wow. Why were all these women so fierce? Was this what he meant? However, Lin Xian knew that Yirenbing was targeting him. She wanted to mess with him. If he chose dare and lost, he would probably be killed by her. F***ck. What was he afraid of? Linglong Shui's task was set by Linglong Yue. As the younger sister, she couldn't set a difficult task, right? Oh, pinch Lin Xian's thigh super hard. Linglong Yue thought for a moment and said, Lin Xian. Wow. Linglong Shui then looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian looked at Linglong Shui with a wronged expression. Linglong Shui then raised her hand and placed it on Lin Xian's thigh. Lin Xian still looked at Linglong Shui with a wronged expression. Ouch! Ha 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 ha. Linglong Yue laughed happily. Yirenbing also felt great. Linglong Shui then smiled at Lin Xian. It seemed quite satisfying. You wait for me too. Lin Xian glared at Linglong Yue. Linglong Yue made a face without any fear. Was she afraid of him? Continue. Then it was Yirenbing's turn. Dare. Yirenbing said without hesitation. Shall Linglong avenge me? Take your revenge. Lin Xian said to Linglong Shui. Linglong Shui didn't know what to do. She wasn't Yirenbing. She wouldn't do that. Why don't you say it? Linglong Shui looked at Lin Xian. Okay. Hey, don't be shameless. Yirenbing said with her legs crossed. What's wrong? Are you scared? Lin Xian laughed. TSK, how is that possible? I just want to follow the rules of the game. If one person doesn't follow the rules, wouldn't the others be able to act shamelessly? Yirenbing said. Okay. Linglong Shui lowered her head and pondered for a while. Then she said, then shout out the window that Yirenbing am the ugliest. Yirenbing. To be honest, Yirenbing didn't care if she was asked to strip naked and play with them. Instead, it was Linglong Shui's question that gave her a headache. Linglong Shui was indeed her best friend. She knew her well. Okay, Linglong Shui, you're good. Yirenbing then walked to the window. Lin Xian scratched his head. What was going on? He felt that she didn't care at all when he asked her to strip. Why did he see a trace of unhappiness on Yirenbing's face, when it was a simple dare in Lin Xian's eyes? Then Yirenbing shouted out the window. Ha. Lin Xian felt that it was hilarious. A demon god shouting out that she was the ugliest? In this world, only he Lin Xian could see this scene. Outside, Yirenbing's underlings were chatting. Some of them were sitting in a circle and warming themselves up. Then they suddenly heard this voice. What's wrong with Master? Someone asked in confusion. She probably lost in a game. Don't laugh. Be careful that Master doesn't punish you if she finds out. I recorded it. Lin Xian smiled and waved his phone. Yirenbing. Chapter 1146. Yirenbing walked back to her seat and smiled. It's okay. Let's continue. It was Linglong Shui's turn next. This time, it was Lin Xian's turn. Lin Xian was looking forward to it. Yirenbing. It had to be Yirenbing. Finally, it was Lin Xian's turn. Lin Xian was speechless. How does this count? Lin Xian said. Then let's change it to Lingyue. Wait for the next round. Lin Xian looked at Bing Lingyue pleadingly. I choose truth. Trash. Yirenbing couldn't help but say. You talk too much. Lin Xian glared at her. Oh, this person dared to glare at him. Interesting. Bing Lingyue thought for a moment and asked. Then I'll follow up with my previous question. Who are the girls you have a relationship with? Lin Xian was speechless. Lin Xian collapsed when he heard Bing Lingyue's question. Everyone's eyes lit up. This was a good question. Absolutely a good question. Little Bing, you're too cruel. Bing Lingyue said. I'm just asking. Tell me. Yirenbing said. One for you, one for Linglong. And? You don't know the rest, Lin Xian said. If you don't know him, then tell me. Lin Xian scratched his head. Ling Ying, Han Chuxue and Xiao Runing. Isn't Xiao Runing your teacher? Linglong Shui asked. Everyone was speechless. What a beast. Yirenbing said. Lin Xian was speechless. No, there are two more, Shui Bingxin and Shui Binglan. Lin Xian said. Well, they can be considered as such. Yirenbing nodded. My turn, my turn. An hour later, they were really in high spirits. They were really playing more and more. To what extent would they play? For Yirenbing's dare, Lin Xian asked her to call one of her subordinates boss, which scared the hell out of her. And Lin Xian was telling the truth the whole time, so they didn't know what to ask. Can't you pick a dare? The more Yirenbing played, the angrier she got. It was not that it was not fun, but this bastard was telling the truth the whole time. She was furious. No, I know that if I choose, I will die, Lin Xian said stubbornly. All right, then let's change the terms. There's no truth, only dare. Yirenbing said. No, it's not fair. Raise your hands to vote. Those who agree, raise your hands. Then, the 4 votes instantly agreed. Bing Lingyue and Ling Longshui didn't hesitate at all. Why? After playing for so long, each of them had been tortured in various ways. But this bastard, so, Bing Lingyue and Ling Longshui were also unhappy. Yirenbing laughed, then said, It's time for me to give you a dare. Go easy on me. I want to see you and Ling Longshui have sex live. Lin Xian. Ling Longshui. Hey, you're going too far. Am I? Yirenbing's lips curled up slightly and said, Other than this girl, everyone here is your woman. You don't think it's okay? Ling Longshui also said, Forget about this kind of content. All right. Yirenbing also nodded helplessly. Unhappy. If Ling Longshui's personality changed, then there would be no problem. The main problem was that she didn't drink enough. Then scold yourself for 30 seconds. Lin Xian was stunned. This woman let him go just like that? Okay. Lin Xian leaned against the window and scolded. After that, Yirenbing smiled and waved her phone at him. It's okay. You're a demon god. Your video is much more important than mine. Lin Xian smiled. I'm fine too. Let's continue drinking. Ling Longshui stood up and said, I'm not drinking anymore. It's getting late. We should go back. So boring? Yirenbing lay there. Oh, I'm a little dizzy. I really can't drink anymore. Ling Longshui said. Rest early. Ling Longshui then looked at Lin Xian and said, We're going back first. Then I'll. Before Lin Xian could finish, Yirenbing said, You stay. Lin Xian didn't say anything. Let's go. Rest early. Then Ling Longshui released her power, and the 3 of them left. Trash. Yirenbing looked at Lin Xian and said, I say, sister, why do you keep calling me trash? Lin Xian said helplessly, I created an opportunity for you. It's obvious that those 2 women could let you do whatever you want. But what about you? Lin Xian. Damn, you're really a demon. I just want to know what a noble and beautiful woman like Ling Longshui looks like when she does that kind of thing. Yirenbing said. Lin Xian. In any case, it's different from you? Oh, if I have the chance, I'll definitely see it for myself. Lin Xian. I'm tired too. Let's go to sleep. Lin Xian yawned and fell onto the bed. You're not allowed to sleep, Yirenbing said. I'm really tired. Lin Xian took off his jacket and crawled under the covers. Then, he turned his back to Yirenbing and closed his eyes. When a person is extremely excited, it's especially easy to feel sleepy. Lin Xian was originally thinking about what to do tonight, but when he felt sleepy, he decided to just sleep. Yirenbing looked at Lin Xian, then turned to face Lin Xian. Lin Xian. Go to sleep. You can't sleep. A minute later, Lin Xian really couldn't sleep. As for what happened, there was no need to think about it. The next morning, Lin Xian opened his eyes and looked at the obedient Yirenbing in his arms. He couldn't help but smile. This Yirenbing was always swift and decisive, just like a demoness. However, she was especially quiet when she was sleeping, making others feel that she was truly peaceful. Yirenbing probably felt Lin Xian's movements. Her long eyelashes trembled slightly, then she opened her beautiful eyes. What are you looking at? She asked. You're the one looking at it. Lin Xian grinned. Save those words to deceive other girls. Yirenbing stretched, not caring about how violent she was in front of Lin Xian. This was the complete opposite of Ling Longshui. Even though Ling Longshui and Lin Xian were an old married couple, sometimes she was shy even when kissing, let alone like this. Even after they had sex, Lin Xian wanted to go to the bathroom to take a shower. Ling Longshui didn't even let him turn on the lights. She just let him feel around in the dark. That's why it was said that the colder a girl was, the more shy she was. Hey, then can you stop attacking the human race now? Lin Xian asked. Why do you care? Don't do that. We've been married for a long time. Women have to listen to men. Look at Xiao Ling Long. Then go find her. Hurry up and get lost. Yiren Bing then shrunk back under the covers. Don't make me poke you, Yiren Bing. Chapter 1147. Then, Lin Xian poked her again. Yiren Bing lay there weakly. She did not want to move at all. She just wanted to lie there like a corpse today. I'm leaving, Lin Xian said. Yiren Bing raised her hand slightly, and a few beads flew to Lin Xian. Take this. This was created by me and Ling Longshui. You don't have to worry about your space being sealed in the future. Lin Xian took it. Thanks. Get lost. Lin Xian. Wow. This woman was too infuriating. After using him, she said, get lost. It seemed that he did not manage to make her submit. However, Lin Xian was bored. I'm leaving. Lin Xian walked out. Someone sent him to Linen City. He still had a lot of things to do in Linen City, especially Zichiyue and in Xian. He had to write songs for them. Lin Xian was not worried about writing songs. He had countless good songs in his head. However, he had to woo them while writing songs. This was too damn difficult. Do you have time? Lin Xian wanted to go to an Xian's place directly. However, he received a message from Luo Chenxi. Luo Chenxi actually took the initiative to look for him? Of course he had time. Lin Xian really did not have any contact with Luo Chenxi. He had no idea how to woo her. Therefore, he decided to go and take a look. Yes, what do you want, beautiful? I want to talk business. I'll wait for you on the first floor of Luqin Cafe. Are you coming? Yes. Then Lin Xian went to Luqin Cafe. It was said that the Luqin Cafe was a place for men and women to have sex. Lin Xian didn't know anything about it. Only those who knew the ropes would know. For example, in some clubs, those who didn't know would think that it was just a place to wash your feet. But those who knew would be able to do whatever they wanted after entering. After Lin Xian walked in, he saw Luo Chenxi, who was wearing a beige jacket, swirling her coffee in the corner. At the same time, her beautiful eyes looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian greeted her, then walked over and sat across from her. Boss Luo, Lin Xian said with a smile. Didn't you just call her a beauty on the phone? Why are you calling me boss here? Luo Chenxi said with a smile. Sigh, I'm just like this. I'm very powerful on the internet or on the phone. But once I'm in front of someone, I'm terrified. Yi Tianyi smiled and said. Really? I see a lot of pretty girls around you. Luo Chenxi smiled. It's all right. It's mainly because I'm too charming. Charming? Well, indeed, a talented person does have a lot of charm. Luo Chenxi nodded. No, it's mainly because I'm handsome. Lin Xian grinned. Handsome? Ha ha ha. Luo Chenxi laughed. Lin Xian. Hey, why do I feel a trace of sarcasm from your laughter? Lin Xian took a sip of the coffee she ordered and said. No. If you want to say that I'm handsome, I'm not very handsome, but I'm not ugly either. Lin Xian. Hey, you're hurting my heart. Ha ha ha, I'm just kidding. You're quite handsome, but I think those girls should like your talent more. Luo Chenxi smiled and said. Hey, in my opinion, you're not a superficial person. Well, it's okay. I'm so superficial that I only want to make money. Luo Chenxi said. Me too. I only want to make money. Lin Xian said. Then let's cooperate. Luo Chenxi said. Okay, but what kind of cooperation? Lin Xian asked. You're so talented. You must be very smart. You should know some of my ideas. It's nothing more than creating stars. Lin Xian shrugged and said. Yes. No. Lin Xian shook his head. Lin Xian's songs were all top-notch. How could they be used to create stars? Well, it's expected. Luo Chenxi nodded. Then why did you ask me to come? I just want to meet you, the big genius. I want to chat with you, and see what kind of person you are. At the same time, I want to see if we can talk about business. If not, then forget it. Lin Xian. Why do I feel that you're here for a blind date? Well, Luo Chenxi pondered for a while and nodded. My family has been trying to arrange a blind date for me. Are you willing? Lin Xian. Damn. This woman must be thirsty, right? He liked it. Yes, I'm very willing. Luo Chenxi could not help but laugh. Sure enough, all men are like this. Luo Chenxi said. Well, yes. By the way, speaking of Anshin, how many songs do you intend to write for her? Lin Xian. Sister, when did we talk about Anshin? Luo Chenxi laughed to hide her embarrassment. Don't tell me you're here for Anshin? Lin Xian asked. Why? I heard from Anshin that you're going to produce an album for her, right? Lin Xian nodded. I'm thinking of trying to produce a few more albums. Lin Xian. Sister, you're thinking too much. Anshin and I are not just working together. Is that so? In Luo Chenxi's opinion, basically everything in this world was about cooperation and benefits. After all, she was a businesswoman and was used to it. Even if Lin Xian helped Anshin produce an album, in her opinion, they were only working together for one album. Therefore, she wanted to fight for Anshin. She wanted Anshin to become someone on the same level as Ziqiyue. Lin Xian had this ability. If Lin Xian could produce more than 3 albums for her, Anshin would definitely be crowned as a queen. Moreover, her position would be unshakable in a short period of time. Yes, I'm very good friends with her. I can even write songs for her for free. If she wants songs, she can tell me anytime. You're thinking too much. I see. Luo Chenxi nodded. Indeed, I'm thinking too much. It turns out that you're so close. Then it doesn't matter. Luo Chenxi nodded. So, is there anything else? To be honest, there's nothing else. Then do you want to have a few drinks? Lin Xian's lips curled up. Luo Chenxi glanced at Lin Xian. Drink until you're in bed? That's fine too. Luo Chenxi smiled and said, Don't get me wrong. I've been in the entertainment industry for a long time, and have seen everything. Therefore, I dare to say anything. No, I'm serious. Lin Xian said. Luo Chenxi glanced at Lin Xian again, and then laughed. Let's go. I'm still very familiar with Lin and City. There's a night bar. Are you sure? Of course. As for how much you can drink me, it depends on your ability. Luo Chenxi said. Let's go. Then Lin Xian and Luo Chenxi went to night bar together. Lin Xian felt quite surprised. This woman was so open-minded. It shouldn't be. Logically speaking, the girls who triggered the system's mission were very good. She was indeed not bad. But wasn't she a little too open-minded? You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.